Okay, well, it says that the Hangout is live. We are on air. Welcome, everybody. Conspiracy or not, here we come. As you know.
Okay, well, it
let
says
me,
that the Hangout
echo.
is live.
Pause, mute, the echo. Okay. We are live, everybody. It is Conspiracy or Not, here we come. It is Friday, July 20th. It is one hell of a chaotic, hectic day. We are without Amy. Amy is missing in action. Now, Amy got back from the hospital. She had a flare-up of pancreatitis last week, and she spent the day in the hospital, and she is back. And it turned out that the cayenne pepper that she was using in her meal was most likely the cause of her flare-up. The hospital said that her appendix was inflamed and or infected. Now, she's indicated that she had no idea why they thought it would be infected, but after doing some research, she did discover that the cayenne pepper in her meal had some contributing factors. However, in the last 2 or 3 days, I have had zero contact. I have not spoken with Amy. I've had no contact on Skype. I don't know where Amy is. She's missing in action, and I hope she's okay. As for Gandalf, I just spoke to Gandalf a moment ago, and Gandalf has his own little crisis as we speak. He said that some freeloaders, and I'll tell you what, I'll just read the Skype message he left to me a moment ago, just 5 minutes ago. He said, "Bro, it's not even my dog." Here's the thing. He's got a dog that has porcupine quills. He was asking me if it's okay to give Tylenol 3 to a dog to remove porcupine thorns or porcupine quills. And I told him that aspirin is, from what I know, aspirin is okay. But my wife is a virologist who has a degree in animal science. She just got home, and it's a late day for her. So she literally just got home a few minutes ago. So it's chaotic and hectic for me. And Gandalf has got this dog thing he's dealing with. And Amy, we don't know where she is. So Gandalf is dealing with a dog. He said, "Bro, it's not even my dog." He said, "It got left here a week ago by these freeloaders. Now they are here with no money for a vet. It's unreal." He says he's been waiting since 12 o'clock for them to get here. So I told Gandalf 3 or 4 times, I said, take care of the dog first. Take care of the dog first. Don't worry about the show. Take care of the dog. And apparently some scumbags are living with or near. Hey, Laz, how you doing, buddy? I'm glad to see you, bud. But anyway, Gandalf is not here with us. He's in the Hangout. He said he's going to leave the window open. He's muted. Looks like he's here, but he's not really here. He'll be back, maybe, if he can squeeze the time in. I told him to take that dog to the vet. And he said that the dog has like 8 or 10 porcupine quills in his nose. And I let him know that, you know, your only option is to literally sit on the dog, sit on him, sit on the dog. And with a pair of needle nose pliers, you got to pull those things out, and you have to pull them out nice and straight, because if you don't pull them out straight, they break, and then the little tip stays inside, and then it festers and then gets infected. And then you're going back to the vet because you got a big festering fucking pus-filled dog nose. So I told him to take care of the dog, take the dog to the vet. So hopefully we'll be hearing from Gandalf soon. And I hope Amy is okay. I have not heard from Amy. The link is in Skype, and Amy should have the link if she's anywhere near or present. But as you all know, Amy is usually online, but right now she's not. So I have no idea. However, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to fly solo. If anybody wants to join and come in and hang out and chat with me, feel free to let me know in the Hangout. I'll find a way to get you to the link. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward with tonight's topic, which is the pedo problem. So again, if anybody is interested in coming in, hanging out, and talking to me live, let me know in the chat. I'll get you the link. You can come hang out with us, hang out with me. I'm flying solo. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down, listen to this, you guys. I am going to break down a TED Talk that tries to normalize pedophilia. And if that doesn't get your ire up, I don't know what will. So in a few minutes, I'm going to play a TED Talk, and then I'm going to interject as it goes along. And I'm going to break down this TED Talk where this woman tries to make your heartstrings, she tries to tug on your heartstrings and make you feel sorry for a fucking pedophile. And it's just another attempt. Now, I've seen articles previously in the last 6 or 8 or months or a year or so. I've seen articles pop up where they try to normalize pedophilia. And I'm sure most of you listening are aware of my friend Dominic, who is the Conscientious Objector channel, Conchi, we call him. So he said, I would say about a year ago, this guy's kind of ahead of the curve. He said that the LGBTQ they're going to be adding the P for pedophile. And that's why I've got it in the title, The Pedo Problem, LGBTQ, and in parentheses, the capital letter P for pedophile, because it seems that pedophilia is so prevalent, and that it seems that the powers that be would like to normalize this behavior and make everybody sympathetic to people who suffer from the psychological disorder known as pedophilia. So in a moment or two, I'm going to break down a TED Talk where this woman is normalizing pedophilia. And then what I'll do is I'm probably going to play a Gary Orsom video where he does basically the same thing. So if you guys, oh, look, I got a thumb down already. Wow, how wonderful. Thank you for the thumbs down already. Okay, that's probably from fellow man who has been banned. I actually banned, I don't like to ban people. I really don't like blocking and banning people. But this guy, fellow man, he's the kind of guy who likes to just disrupt any conversation and just suck up your time. And you know what? I'm not afraid of criticism. If your criticism is constructive, I'm willing to. Look on my last video. Look on my last show. Keith M1. I didn't delete his videos. I didn't block Keith, but I got a history with fellow man, and that little SOB, he's just a piece of shit. And discussing anything with this guy is just a waste of time. So I finally decided to go ahead and block him permanently. So fellow man, if you're listening, feel free to fuck off. You are blocked, and you are not welcome around here. You're not welcome in the chat. You're not welcome in my comment section. I don't want myself or any of my subscribers or anyone to waste their time discussing anything with you, because you are a religious zealot. Your head is up your ass. You have no idea what it means to have a constructive conversation at all. You have no idea what it means to show proof of your claims. You make a lot of assertions, and you never once have proved anything that I've asked you to provide any evidence for. You make tons and tons of assertions. I've asked you repeatedly to prove or provide evidence for your claims. Hi, Sandra. Glad to see you, Sandra. We got Sandra, Blue Blood, Miguel, Laz is in here with us. Yeah, LGBTQYZ, QRST, LMNOP, QRST. Yes. They're going to include everybody. So fellow man is blocked, and I'm not proud to say that I'm blocked somebody, but honestly, the guy fucking deserves it. He does nothing but suck up people's time. and I'm not having it. I'm not getting sucked into a fucking endless conversation that goes round and round. And I don't appreciate him engaging in other people. I've seen him engage in other people in my comment section, and it's just a huge waste of time. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you, Laz, for your thumbs up. 2 against 1. Now it's 8 against 1 right now. It's 8 against 1. I've only got 12 watching, but it's just me. I'm flying solo. So if you just tuned in, just a quick recap. I have not heard from Amy. She's missing in action. Last week, she had a pancreatitis flare-up. She went to the hospital, and I haven't spoken with her in a day or two. And honestly, I don't know her condition. I don't know where she is or what she's up to. And as for Gandalf, although it looks like he's in the chat, he's actually muted, and he's busy dealing with a dog that has porcupine quills stuck in his nose. And the dog doesn't even belong to him, so he's kind of scrambling to figure out how to take care of this dog. And I told him, don't worry about the show, take care of the dog, and we'll work it out. It's no big deal. But what I'm going to do is, in a few minutes, I'm going to break down this TED Talk that just attempts to normalize pedophilia. So in a few minutes, I'm going to get into that. But as it is right now, I just want to bring everybody up to speed, say hello to the people in the chat, and I guess we're going to move forward from there. So one more time, if you want to come and hang out, and that includes you, Laz, and Blue Blood, and anybody else who's hanging out, let me know if you want to come hang out. I extended an invitation to Wake Now, and although I didn't extend it directly, I asked Wake Now to ask fucking Freddie if he wants to come hang out. So just in case anybody wants to come hang out with me, I'm flying solo. I would appreciate a secondary voice. Feel free to just spout out in the chat, and I will get you the link. So I'm just going to scan the chat right now. Let me see. That thumb down was in the last few seconds from Blue Blood. Well, Laz, I'm glad to hear Amy's okay, but honestly, I don't think she is. I haven't talked to Amy in a day or two. She is missing in action. Hi, Big P. Glad to see you here too. Laz, I don't know how well Amy is doing. I haven't spoken to her. It's not usual for me to not see her on Skype or speak to her. It's unusual for me to not talk to Amy after 2 days or so. So the link is in Skype. If Amy is around, she will have the link. She can come in anytime she wants. So we hope Amy is okay. It's not usual. It's pretty unusual for her to be missing in action. So I genuinely hope that Amy is okay. Let me see. Speaking of LGBTQ, that Trump's news sounded a drag hoax. I'm not sure what you're talking about. LGBTQ, that Trump's news sounded a drag. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Sandra. Not sure what you're talking about. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do is any minute now, I'm going to go ahead. I've got a tab open. I'm going to play a TED Talk where this woman tries to normalize pedophilia. And listen, I'm trying to give it a few minutes. Honestly, I'm sort of dragging this out because once I start screen sharing, I won't be able to see the live chat. So once I begin this process, if anybody wants to jump in and hang out with us or with me, then that's not going to happen until I'm done screen sharing and get back into the chat. It's not easy to keep an eye on the chat and host a hangout at the same time. So if anybody wants to come hang out, and Laz or Blue Blood or anybody wants to come, just sit in and have a chat. We're going to be talking about this TED Talk. And the other thing I wanted to mention was Gary Orsom, this Australian guy. He's got a pretty sizable channel. He doesn't need my help, but I would recommend you guys go and subscribe to Gary Orsom. He's very good. Does a lot of social commentary. He calls out a lot of bullshit. So if you like that kind of thing, go check out Gary Orsum and ORSUM or OM. Look him up, Gary Orsum. I will be featuring his video in a few minutes after I break down the TED Talk on my own. Blue Blood, go there. Let's see. Blue, you want to come hang out with me for a minute? I need somebody to talk to. I've never flown solo on a live hangout, and honestly, I don't feel like doing 3 hours by myself. I mean, I like to talk, but that's just too much. So honestly, I'm going to break down this TED Talk video, and if nobody wants to come hang out with me, then I'll engage in the chat for a little while, and I'll probably shut it down after that. Skype or Hangouts? What are you talking about, Blue? I've got you on Skype, don't I, Blue? Let me check Skype real quick. Blue, if you're in my Skype, pardon me for not remembering. There you are. Is that you? That should be you. Tell you what, Blue. I just left you the link to the Hangout in your Skype, buddy. So maybe you'll pop in here, and if you want it somewhere else, I'll give it to you somewhere else. Blue Blood, go check your Skype. I just dropped you a link in Skype. And Laz, if you want to come hang out with us, my friend, you are a dear friend. You're a good man. You and I had a disagreement that almost spiraled out of control, and I'm glad we got control of it before it turned into a big pile of fucking stupid drama. You're a good dude. We love you around here. I love you personally. You're a good man. And you are certainly welcome to come hang out and give your opinion as we move forward. So Laz, let me know if you want to come hang out for a few minutes. I don't actually know. Well, wait a minute. I don't know how to give you the special cell phone link. Amy did that last week, but you should be able to get in here if you want to. Oh, Blue, you're reinstalling Skype? Really? I know, Skype is a pain in the ass. I've had so many friends on Skype who have said to me that they had to reinstall Skype, or they got disconnected and then they wouldn't give them their password, so they had to get rid of it and reinstall it. Skype can sometimes be a pain in the ass, but when it works, it's fucking beautiful. Lots of drags pretending to be women in the news. It seems there would be a Russian spy. Yes, Sandra, the deception is pretty fucking huge, and it is all pervasive. There is no aspect of our lives that are not affected by the overall deception. And that's absolutely true. There's nothing about this world, there's nothing about this life that's not littered with deception. Zach Hawkins. Zach, you want to come hang out, buddy? I'm flying solo tonight, so I'm looking for a partner. I'm looking for somebody to bounce off of. I'm stalling, actually. I'm waiting for a few more people to get in here. Karen McCardle. Hi, Karen. I'm going to be breaking down a TED Talk video that might be disturbing to some of you guys, or at least make your brains boil within your skulls when you hear what this chick has to say as she tries to normalize pedophilia. So I'm going to break that down, and then I'll probably play most of, or at least a portion of, a Gary Orsum video, which basically does the same thing. He breaks down this particular TED Talk. Pretty wild stuff, man. Pretty wild stuff. So I'm stalling for time. I'm waiting for people to get in here. Freaking Freddy, live now, wake now. You guys want to join in, just say so in the chat, and I'll figure out a way to get you guys links. Everybody just let me know if you want to come hang out. Lowering the age of consent. That's correct. That's correct, Laz. It's been in the works for years now, he says. He was talking against it 2 years ago in the YouTube hangout I was invited to. Yes. Sandra is asking how my fosters are doing. Well, I had two foster kitties. They were semi-feral. They were both born outside. The male, the little black cat, little black Sambo, I got a video of him on my channel. Black Sambo is in the shelter, the last I heard. I don't know if he's been adopted, but he's currently in the shelter, so he's doing very well. He's extremely friendly enough that they took him in right away. They were surprised that he was a foster and a feral, but I didn't do much. I mean, he was just friendly to begin with. His sister, I've got tons of footage on his sister. She is like really, really apprehensive and fearful. And for months, I've been fostering this cat for months. She's making lots of progress. Every day is little tiny little baby steps of progress. And so now, after months of fostering this cat, she now is finally to the point where I can pet her, I can approach her, and she doesn't run away. Most of the time. Sometimes she does. Every now and then she'll hiss at me and run away. But if I approach her slow, then she doesn't run off. I can walk up and actually touch her and pet her. And during feeding time, she's happy to see me. She rubs up on me. I can pet her, and I can pick her up and put her in my lap, and she purrs, and she likes being pet. That's usually during feeding time. Yesterday, this is good news. Yesterday, I was actually able to clip her freaking toenails for the first time, and I think I've had this cat almost 3 months. So she's really slow to gain progress and to gain trust, but she's coming along, and so hopefully we'll get her into the adoption shelter soon. Let me see here. So Zach, you're a little bit hammered. Zach, my friend, I've been working my ass off this week, and you know what, guys? I didn't even know it was Friday. I actually thought it was Thursday. And it wasn't until about 2 hours ago I realized it was Friday. I was like, holy shit, I got nothing. Well, I had this 1 or 2 topics I wanted to cover. And Amy is missing in action. And at the last second, Gandalf has got a dog with porcupine quills in his nose. So I've got very little prepared except for this video that I want to break down. So yeah, and I've already started drinking. I've already had a couple glasses of wine. So I'm with you, Zach. I'm with you, Zach. I'm drinking with you, bro. But I tell you what, Wake Now, Freaking Freddy, and RC123. These guys who have been, I guess they've come to be known as the Three Amigos. They've been doing a lot of work breaking down and exposing the YouTube channels that are actually pedophiles. And in fact, hey, Doug. Glad to see you, Doug. I will extend one more time because I know people are popping in here right now. I will extend one more time. If anybody wants to come hang out, let me know because I'm flying solo right now. And I would appreciate somebody to bounce off of at least. So if somebody wants to come hang out, just say so, and I'll get you the link. But RC123, Wake Now, and Freaking Freddy have come to be known as the Three Amigos, and these guys are exposing a lot of pedophilia going on in the truth community. That would be YouTubers who are in the quote unquote truth community who actually turn out to be pedophiles. And in fact, I think it was Wake Now. I'm looking at my subscriptions right now. I just watched this video a couple of hours ago. I think it was Wake Now that exposed this fucking guy. Where did it go? Here it is. Dave Todoshinsky, aka USA Net for Truth, has been convicted. He's a convicted pedophile doing Pizzagate videos. So Wake Now has got a great video exposing this guy, Net for Truth, known as Dave Todd S. Chinny. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do a screen share and show you guys what I'm looking at. Oh, okay, Blue, you're set up on Skype again? Okay, well, in that case, you might need to send me a fresh connection. You might want to connect with me once again, because if you're set up again on Skype, you probably have to reconnect with me on Skype, and I'll get you the link. So as soon as you do that, I will get you the link, bro. Come on in to hang out with us, with me. I'm flying solo. It's one of those nights, guys. It's one of those hectic nights. Amy's missing in action, and Gandalf is dealing with a dog that's got porcupine quills in his nose. I told Gandalf, take that dog to the vet and don't worry about the show. Take care of that dog. So, let me see here. I'm just checking out this, checking out the chat. Let me see. In Brazil, they're trying to introduce this concept. Pedos are poor, ill people who deserve treatment, not prison. Oh my God, Sandra, they're doing it in Brazil too, huh? Not surprised, not surprised. Laz says, when pedos are getting too much heat from people in Europe and USA, they go to poor countries to do their evil deeds there. It's a worldwide problem. Yes, it is a worldwide problem. In fact, the problem is so widespread, Laz. And this woman that I'm going to show in this TED Talk, I'm going to show her in just a minute. She says that the population of pedophiles is somewhere around 2%. And that turns out, if by per capita, it's Rufus, ROOFUSCAT, 2 words. Blue blood, Rufus, cat. 2 words, ROOFUSCAT, 2 words. That's for you, blue blood. So yeah, Laz, this woman in this TED Talk, she talks about this pedophilia is 2% of the population, which turns out to be 60 million fucking people worldwide. That's a lot of fucking people. So yeah, Karen, yeah, totally worldwide. Yes, 60 million people. What do we have here? I've got Blue Blood is calling me. Blue, don't call me. Just connect. Just send me a connection. I'm gonna hang up. I can't take a Skype phone call while I'm doing a Google Hangout, Blue. Just send me a connection request, and I'll connect with you, and then I will. Let me see. Recent Blue Blood. Blue, here's your link right here. I'm sending it to you right now. Add contacts. I got to do that first. Oh, send. Blue, you have to accept my. There it is. Here we go. There you go, Blue. You got the link. There you go, Blue. You got the link. It's in Skype. It should have your link in Skype. There you are. Blue Blood Jam is online. People not even know when they're started. As a predator gets older, they're clever or think they're clever. They're dangerous. Yeah, they're absolutely dangerous. You guys are going to be shocked when I show you this TED Talk. If you haven't seen this, oh my freaking God. Oh my, look, I've seen articles, and like I was saying earlier, Dominic, conscientious objector, he was telling me nearly 2 years ago, a year and a half ago at least, he was telling me that they're going to try to normalize this, and he was 100% right. He fucking nailed it. They're pushing the virtuous pedo narrative in the mainstream media. Yes, they are. And wait till you see what I'm going to fucking show you. I can't fucking believe what I saw, you guys. This TED Talk is so fucking, oh my God. I'm just, I mean, I just get tongue-tied with what I have to say about this. It's so wrong. It bothers me so very much to see how many children get missing every day. That's right, Laz. Laz, I heard the statistics over and over again from multiple sources. 800,000 children in the United States alone go missing every year. 200,000 children every year go missing in the United Kingdom every single fucking year. That's 1 million children, and that's just the United States and the United Kingdom. That's the UK and the United States alone. 1 million kids per year. And of course, some of them run away, and many times they come home and they're found. And yes, children get abducted by family members and they're found, but literally 1 million per year. What do we have here? Border of Chaos. Hi, Rufus Cat. How recent is this TED Talk? I will let you know. Let me see. I've got a tab open here. Well, to be honest with you, I'm actually watching. The TED Talk that I'm looking at has been mirrored. Oh, well, let me see. It's been mirrored by a channel called Chip Kipperly, and it was uploaded on June 19th, 2018. So that must mean it's very recent, because even though it was probably broadcast before June 19th, 2018, the fact that it was uploaded on this particular channel on June 19th, 2018 means that it is a pretty recent TED Talk. So that means it's pretty recent. So I followed the link actually from Gary Orsom, because this is how it came to my attention first. And Gary Orsom's link, Gandalf, what are you doing in the chat? You need to be taking care of that dog. If you're not taking care of that dog, you need to be in here in the fucking hangout.
I'm in, bro.
Bro, what are you doing?
It's all good, man.
What's going on with the dog?
They didn't come out as bad as I thought it was going to go down, man. And luckily, the dog was new. I think she was like something like maybe a psychic connection. She knew the things had to fucking come out and not totally freak out like she did earlier today. And yeah, we got them out, man.
Oh, you got them out. So you, so you pulled the quills out?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're sure you got them all out and you didn't break any tips? Because
no, they didn't break or anything. Like, I don't know. It was not as hard as I thought it was gonna, and it just took them out, and it took like 10 minutes, dude.
Okay. You said there was only about 8 or 10 quills?
Yeah, and it was just on the nose, man. There was one on her lip, but then the rest of them were just like in like a tiny little cluster on her nose.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. What kind of dog?
She's kind of like mixed. She's like Labrador, and she's also, but mainly German Shepherd.
All right. Well, keep an eye on her and make sure that her nose doesn't swell up and start festering and pussing out. You know, make sure that, you know, make sure that you got, because like I said, those tips, they get so thin and they break pretty easily if you don't pull them straight.
See, that's what I was worried about, and I was trying to convince these guys that it's gonna be a lot better to take it to a vet. You know what I mean? Like, instead of spending who knows how much on medication for the dog and antibiotics if they don't come out properly, right? But these guys don't really have a lot of spare money, so they just started doing it. So we all just held them down, held the poor dog down, and got them out, man.
Okay, well, I'll keep my fingers crossed that you did a good job. I hope you did well.
So you were gonna share that video, that you showed me earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that video and we're gonna break it down. I'm glad you're here with us. I'm trying to get Blue Blood the link. He said that the link led him to the Play Store. Hang on a second. He said the link led him to the Play Store, email, or on my vids. Blue Blood is working with a cell phone. So I'll tell you what, Blue, I'll go over to your channel and I'll get you the link if you want to come hang out with us. Love to have you sit in. I've got a spare tab open. I'm going to go over to your channel. I'll get you the link. I'll leave you the link, Blue Blood, on your most recent upload. You know, there's oh shit! I just did a search for Blue Blood, and there's so many. I'm flooded out. I can't find your channel. I can't find your channel, Blue. I'll tell you what I'll do, Blue. I will leave the link on my most recent upload. Let me see. Give me a second. And it should be the R and Raw interview at the Ark Encounter protest. Blue, I'm going to leave the link over there. Blue Blood, go over to my channel. Go to my most recent video, the R and Raw. There it is. R and Raw interview, Ark Encounter protest 2018. Blue Blood, go over there and get the link. I'm going to go ahead and pin that comment so it's up on top. I don't know what else to do for you because YouTube has recently discontinued the private message system. So I can't send it to you in messages.
I really wonder why they did that.
I wonder why as well. I would suspect because they have such a huge endeavor when it comes to maintaining the website, maintaining the YouTube website. It takes up so much data, and messages is something that they have sort of foregone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you gotta imagine with all the videos that they have on YouTube, they gotta have a skyscraper somewhere full of computers storing all this information.
They're called pods. They're called pods. They're little miniature locations that are like trailers that they attach a couple of trailers together, and they're nothing but servers, and that's all they are. And I know a guy who installs these things, and they're called pods. And it's just a fucking trailer or a tiny little building where they set up a shitload of servers and a bunch of air conditioning and wiring that goes under the floor because there's so much fucking wiring involved and air conditioning to keep everything cool. But the endeavor to keep YouTube operating is such a huge, with billions of channels and hundreds of billions of minutes or hours uploaded every day. Plus, everything is archived, and that includes all the comments and the computer storage facilities are. It's hard to get your brain around how much it takes to maintain.
So they must have more than one then, eh?
Oh my God, they're all over the world. Yes, they're. Oh yeah. Oh, there's no such thing as one location where YouTube and all of its, physical hardware is located. No. These are little centrally located servers all over the fucking place.
Shit, man.
But messages, as you and everybody else engaged is probably aware that messages, you don't get any notifications. So if somebody leaves you a private message, you don't fucking know unless you go and you check your messages. You don't know if somebody left you a message. There was never any notification system. And it seems obvious in retrospect when you look back and you think, that's pretty obvious that they really don't want you connecting with each other, right? Because YouTube is, in fact, the ultimate social media website. It's better than Facebook. It's better than Twitter. It's better than Snapchat. But we all have channels, which is the same thing as like having a Facebook profile or a Facebook page. Blue Blood said it keeps sending him to the Play Store. I
Do
don't.
you think we maybe should send it through like Google Hangouts or something like that?
You want to try that? You know where to get the link.
Blue, could you maybe drop your email address in the chat, and I'll just send you it directly through Google Hangouts if you have Google Hangouts.
Cerebra, would you like to come and hang out with us? Cerebra, I'm going to go and give you the link. Why don't you come hang out with us for a few minutes? It's bluebloodguitars@gmail.com. Go, Gandalf, go get him the...
All right. And Blue, you have Google Hangouts, right? He's got to have Google Hangouts.
Cerebra, I'm in the process. I'm going to your channel right now. I am going to leave you the link under your most recent video. Why don't you come hang out with us for a few minutes? Because we are flying blind. Amy is out of commission. We haven't heard from Amy. I hope she's okay. She had a pancreatitis flare-up that sent her to the hospital last week.
I saw her on a Discord only about a day or so ago.
Cerebra, I just gave you the link under your most recent video. Message to the French from Giulietto. I'm sorry, but I'm going to pronounce this terribly. Giulietto Cisse, English subtitles. Cerebra, there's a link under your most recent video. Come hang out with us, honey. We miss you and we love you. Put it in Skype.
All right.
All right, Cerebra.
All right.
I'm going to give it to you in Skype. It's the easiest way. Hang on just 1 second. There she is. There it is, Cerebra. You got it in Skype. So we're going to break down this video from TED Talks where they're trying to normalize pedophilia. And then I will probably see if I can search out some articles, because I know I've seen some articles in the not too distant past from mainstream articles where they're trying to normalize pedophilia. Yeah, remember that USA Secretary of State, you're talking Madeleine Albright. Madeleine Albright, I think. The USA Secretary of State that called killing 500,000 children of hunger in Iraq collateral damage. Yeah, she said that was acceptable. Sickening. I agree, my brother. I agree. Fucking horrible. Unbelievable, these people. Unfucking believable. You guys just stick around a minute, because honestly, I'm going to break down this TED Talk video in any minute now, and it's so fucking disturbing. I'm going to give Cerebra Sauna a minute to come in here, and Blue Blood, Gandalf is working on getting you the link.
Yeah, I sent it to Blue's Google Hangouts, so it should be in the message box there, Blue.
Sandra, I've got Cerebra on Skype, and no, it's not spelled the way you spell it. That's her new YouTube channel with the double S, but I am still connected with Cerebra Sauna on Skype. And as far as I know, her Skype handle has not changed. So other than that, I don't have any other connection for Cerebra Sauna on Skype. I'm double checking, but I've only got one Cerebra Sauna. And as far as I know, she didn't have to set up Skype again like some people do. But Blue Blood, you've got the link in Skype. You've got it in comments. Gandalf has sent it to your Google. Blue Blood, hope you can get in here with us. Okay, so tell you what I'm going to do. 600,000 Syrian children went missing last year. Really? Wow.
From Europe, I'm imagining, right? The new immigrants that have come there in the past few years.
Blue Blood says nothing yet from you, Gandalf. He'll keep checking. He's going to keep it. Maybe it's an update thing. I don't know. But Blue Blood is saying he doesn't have anything from you. So the dog is okay? You were able to get all those quills out?
Oh, yeah, man. It honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was at first. I think it's because she freaked out earlier on today when we tried. And this time it's like it was like a like some kind of connection, like a mental connection. I just looked at her and she knew they had to come out, man. And they came out not as bad as I thought. They were only about an inch long.
And did you have to like really hold her down?
Yeah, like we all held her down, but she didn't like struggle. She didn't really fight as much as I was expecting. She just kind of, jolted back. But we took them out quick, right? So I felt so bad all day for this dog. Like I was waiting on these guys to come and take this guy take her to the vet, like since 12, man. But I'm just hoping there's no reaction. I'm hoping there's nothing, because those things, like you were saying, are like fish hooks, man. I'm afraid that there's one of these fish hooks like stuck in her nose, and it's gonna like, I don't know, like cause some kind of infection, man.
Cool. Cerebra's coming in right now, so Cerebra Sana is going to come hang out with us for a few minutes. I know it's late for her, so we very much appreciate her time. She's in France, and so let me see. She's 5 hours. 8 o'clock for me means it's 1 a.m. for her. So as soon as Cerebra Sana gets in here, I'm going to go ahead and start this fucking TED Talk. And you guys are just going to be shocked at what they're saying in TED. I could not believe my ears, you guys. I could not believe my ears. Now, in a way, I could, because I've seen the articles. I knew this was coming. And Dominic was warning me. Karen is asking, what is a quill?
Oh, that's kind of like just what we call the porcupine's needles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's a Canadian thing or something like that.
Yeah, it's just it's a porcupine. It's the little needles, I guess. I don't know what else to call them.
Hey, you guys don't call them quills, eh?
No, we do call them quills.
Oh, okay.
That's why she's asking, because I was calling them quills, and Karen was like, "What's a quill?" So Cerebra says her connection is slow, and Blue Blood says that he thought you emailed it.
No, it's directly in the Google Hangout main webpage.
Are you there?
Hey, there we go.
Ah, that's better.
Jason, how you doing, brother?
Good, you, buddy?
Could be worse, man. It could always be worse.
Yeah, it always gets better at some point.
How you been?
Not bad, not bad.
So so Gandalf and Blue Blood, you guys are both in Canada. Are you guys seeing the same thing I'm seeing? They're like normalizing pedophilia?
Oh, of course. They're normalizing everything here.
Well, here in Canada, so when Justin Trudeau came into power, his whole thing was he was going to free the weed, right? And instead of freeing the weed, the first thing that Justin Trudeau ended up doing was legalizing animal sex. So it's now no longer illegal in Canada to sell and distribute animal porn. So you can have sex with goats, sheep, llamas, orangutans, zebras, fucking any type of lizard you can think of, like koala bears. You can film it and you can sell it legally in Canada, thanks to Justin Trudeau. That was the first thing. That was the first motion when he became prime minister that he pushed, was decriminalization of animal sex. So yeah. Honestly, this shit is not hard to believe that they're going to be pushing this next.
Job number one for the Liberals, fuck the dog.
Oh yeah, like what kind of fucking country is this, man? It's crazy.
Oh, we're a poster child for New World Order crap, just like Australia. America's a little tougher because there's more people.
Yeah, and they're afraid of a bunch of guys, yahoos down in the south with guns, right?
Yeah, right.
Some Bible Belt Christian that's not going to tolerate this crazy shit that they're pushing, then.
This country's full of guns too, and you never ever hear us talking about it hardly.
Well, do you know actually in Canada there's more gun ownership per capita than there is actually in the States? So there's a lot more armed people up here in Canada. I guess you just don't hear about this crazy shit that goes on.
Well, I'm from Ontario, and I used to hunt. I haven't hunted in 20 years, but everybody back there are rifle aficionados. I know guys that have 200 and 300 rifles, and guys at 10, 20, 30 rifles. Everybody's got multiple rifles that hunts or lives near farms or on farms. You know, that's just Ontario, and that's just in the small area I'm from. The whole country's like that.
So do you have your PAL or what do they call it now?
FAC?
Yeah, your FAC. Do you have yours?
No, I haven't renewed it in years. I could go get it in 5 minutes, but not a big deal.
Same.
If you're not hunting, what's the point of having it, right?
Yeah, like that's the whole thing. I got mine. I think I got mine when I was like 14 or something like that, but then I just never renewed it.
Yeah, well, you know, there's that old saying, nobody will ever invade Canada because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass. That's almost true.
Oh yeah, like this country would be insane to invade, man. You'd be slogging through northern Ontario and you never get anywhere.
No, it's too big a country.
Yeah, and it's kind of once you get out of the southern Ontario part of Canada, you find that it's a real good old boy country once you just get out of the GTA, man. Like once you get out of that southern part of the lake, that one side, the Golden Horseshoe of Ontario, it's a completely different culture, man.
You bet. I think we're getting off topic here, aren't we?
Yeah, okay. Back.
You know, tonight is the topic is whatever for the moment. I'm stalling for time. Now that I know that Cerebra is coming in here, I'm going to wait another minute or two, let her get in here, and then we'll start breaking down this TED Talk video. I mean, I swear to God, you guys, you're not going to fucking believe this shit.
Oh, now
I
that
heard
we're on this topic, do you guys ever hear about Kathleen Wynne down there in the States?
Who?
Kathleen Wynne. She was our liberal premier of Ontario who just got her ass kicked by Doug Ford, the older brother of Rob Ford, the guy who used to be mayor of Toronto, you know, the crack-smoking mayor of Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, his older brother is now the premier of Ontario, so he's like Ontario's Donald Trump, Doug Ford, and he's axed the sex ed curriculum that was teaching kids in kindergarten and grade 1 how to perform oral sex and gay sex on each other. So they were teaching kids in kindergarten and grade 1 sexual acts, basically, and teaching them about transgender, gay, like they were teaching these kids in grade 1 in kindergarten.
Fucking hell.
The whole thing is the most sick thing is this sex ed curriculum that was written and instituted by the liberals was actually created by a known, confirmed, you can't deny this, the guy's a pedophile.
Wow. Well, honestly, Gandalf, that's profound, and I don't want to detract from that, but I do want to say hello and welcome to Cerebra Sauna.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Cerebra.
How you doing, guys?
Hi, honey. So I know you've been listening. What's going on over in Europe? Are they doing the same thing? Are they normalizing pedophilia over there?
Well, you know, guys, first of all, I'm not in France. I'm in Italy at the moment. I'm near Naples. And I've been traveling like the past 3 weeks. I was in Italy 3 weeks ago, then I was in Germany, and now I'm back in Italy. and traveling a lot, and you guys would be absolutely amazed at how many people are awake. I mean, just talking about the weather and just saying, like, banal kind of conversation, and within seconds, the conversation takes a sharp turn, and people are talking about the stuff that we talk about, and I'm like, you guys are this is amazing. I'm so glad to hear you say this. And it's blowing my mind how many people have caught on. And one person even said to me, we have to talk about this because otherwise it's total tyranny. We have to, not censor ourselves. And I said, this is so refreshing to hear this, in the real world conversation, that, and it's not even like I'm near conspiracy people. I'm just with normal, regular people, but they're awake. So
Wow, I've noticed that too, actually. The same kind of little random run-ins with people where they'll just mention something and this guy or this person's like aware to what's going on in the world.
Yeah,
Well,
I had an amazing experience like 3 nights ago. The subject of, just the world is going down the crapper, basically, and one thing leads to another, and somebody said, yeah, but Macron is so great. Everybody loves him. I said, excuse me? Where did you hear that? Oh, everybody. I said, wait a minute, let's clarify. Who's everybody? And I said, oh, you mean the media telling you we love him? I said, we hate him. And that just started a whole conversation, an eye-opening experience for these people to just hear me from the inside tell them how he's a member of Bilderberg, how he's destroying the French society, how he's destroying the French Constitution. He's got every slice of society up in arms in the streets, trying to get him the hell out. And so, yeah, that was just one example. And then things like the fake attacks, 9/11. I mean, we've been going through like, I had no inkling that we would be talking about these things, but it's just, vaccines. We hit the vaccine thing because Italy is facing the 11 forced vaccinations, just like they're trying to do in France. People are aware that everybody is getting the same crap forced down their throats wherever they live. So yeah, we're all in hot water, but at least the people are aware that they're in the hot water. You know what I mean? They're not falling to the trap.
That's good. That's good to hear. Like Marie Le Pen, like everyone thought she was going to win, and then this Emmanuel Macron guy came out of nowhere, and the guy seems like he's on a totally insane power trip.
Oh, I keep saying he's remote controlled. For me, the guy's remote controlled. I mean, I'm saying it facetiously, but just look at him. Take the script out of his hands and ask him to speak, with his own brain. There's nothing that's going to come out. And as you said, this unknown who comes out of nowhere, he's far from an unknown. He was at Bilderberg. The first, the prime minister he nominated as soon as he got quote unquote elected was a Bilderberger. He appointed the Minister of Defense. Was another Bilderberger, and she was obliged to step down only a few months after being appointed because she had scandals of conflict of interest, and that shit started hitting the fan really quickly for her. But for a period of a couple of months, we had the top 3 governing people were all Bilderbergers in France. Macron, his prime minister, and his damn Minister of Defense. We're all at Bilderberg. And I showed this in my videos when my channel, before my channel died a heinous death. I documented all of that, and showed how he was being groomed as early as 2014 to, I would say, as early as 2013, because he was at Bilderberg in 2014. He was being groomed and shaped and massaged to be able to take this over. And Gandalf, I think you mentioned Marine Le Pen. Was it Gandalf who mentioned it, or Bluebun? Sorry. Who mentioned Marine Le Pen? That whole final, we do 2 rounds of elections. The fact that the first round ended with Macron against Le Pen was partially the fruit of You know what? Let's just do a little parentheses here. I have no access to my email, but I wrote an email to you last week or 2 weeks ago, Aaron, about the fact that I don't tell people my real name and all that stuff. Like nobody, you're not the only one, my friend. Nobody really knows anything
Right.
about me, and I have to do that. And you know, you just have to roll with the flow on it because I really can't afford. It's too easy to find me. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's too damn easy to find me. I've said too much
No,
already.
people who do what the kind of things that you do because you're a subtitler. Yes. Are you still doing that kind of work?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you speak like 5 languages, right?
Yes, I do.
So you're a subtitler. So your job is that you have meetings and you arrange with certain groups and organizations and people and producers and directors to
Let's not go into
subtitle.
let's not go
This-
further with that.
To subtitle, it's your job to translate and create subtitles.
Yeah. And the relationship with that and my name. No, all I'm saying, I could be, I could grow peaches in a farm. It really wouldn't make any difference in the sense that I don't really want people knocking at my door or causing me more trouble than I, can deal with. They're coming after the truth, and anybody who speaks truth is going to be in harm's way. So I just don't want to make it any easier for them to come and find me, And so I have to just ask that people respect that I don't come out and right now, I have long, dark, curly. It isn't even curly.
I honestly doubt that anybody looking at the
I
blur-
wish I could be open. Like the
No.
people that I'm meeting, let me just say this, the people that I've been meeting the past 3 weeks know me as who I am in the real world. And I don't even tell them that I'm Cerebra Sana. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, they know me as real me. You guys know me as Cerebra Sana, who's still real me. But I just can't let people connect that dot because you never know. And one of the people that is in the group that I'm with now has some connection to the government in Italy. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Because I was sort of giving a whole lecture sort of thing on connecting all the dots were just coming out. And this person kept asking me, not the government person, this other person was like, oh my God, really? Tell me more. And what do you think about this? And it became a big, like, I don't know how many hours we just stayed there talking about it. I was there. And only after the fact, I realized, crap, they work high up in government somewhere. And I was just kind of like, what have I done? Because they don't know I'm Cerebra Sana. I didn't say that. But can you guys understand the difficulty of, you have to sort of be like a professional schizophrenic doing what we do.
I think I know exactly what you mean. I mean, there's a level of protection. I mean, if you get outed and you're one of these people in today's world where you're out here talking about these crazy conspiracies, then you are one of those crazy people and you're not to be trusted. And the articles are everywhere about mental disorders are being linked with conspiracy theories, and conspiracy theorists are being linked with having mental disorders. And so I can absolutely see that you're in a bind with how you are as a human and what you do for a living.
But what was really great about this, these recent exchanges, just these past few weeks, and most specifically the past few days here, because I'm in another city now with new people, is that surprising people that are in surprising positions that you just encounter, they're all awake. And when you realize that they realize they're talking to me about these crazy things, I said, yep, you see, we're the crazy nutcases, and because I'll give you an example. This example blew my mind. I'm on an island at the moment. And last year, I was on the same island. And when I got home, about 2 weeks after I got home, there was an earthquake on this island. Okay. And we were worried. We thought, oh, is everybody okay? And yes, they were. And I just found out this week that after that earthquake happened, a major Italian television was on the air. This
Uh-oh, we're having a buffering problem. I can't hear you.
the Earth. Can you? Hello.
I can
Yeah,
hear
you
you
were
now.
breaking up.
Last year there was an earthquake on this island where I am now. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you barely. You're in and out, sweetheart.
Okay, don't know why. Let me try this.
I can hear you so far.
How
I
about
think
now?
sharks have eaten the transatlantic cable or something.
No, but can you hear me now?
It's better, yeah.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is I'm on an island, and I was on the same island last summer. And as soon as I got home, a couple of weeks after I got home, there was an earthquake here. So still here, and we got to talking crazy came up, and this person volunteered to me. Last summer there was this earthquake. I'm like, yeah, I heard about it. She said one of the major TV stations in Italy was on the air saying that the earthquake had destroyed the island.
What?
Yeah, that the earthquake had destroyed the island. The island no longer existed. And she was like, excuse me? Okay. And she organized because they went to the earthquake had hit, like the epicenter had hit a particular village, and there was some damage. But she said they kept showing. She said all the news was showing the same two images of these destroyed houses, and she said they weren't even destroyed houses. They were houses that were in construction that weren't even finished yet. And they were passing them off as
Holy shit.
massive destruction. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And said, there were 4 people who died, and not tens or whatever the numbers that they have. She said there were 4 people who died. That was all. And then she said they were on the air saying the island had been destroyed. And so she demonstration with all, the island people went up to the television cameras and said, why are the rest of what, that we're all okay? Because the problem is they sent all the tourists back home, and this is how they make their living. The economy depends on the tourists, so they sent all the tourists home. That's how they make their you know what I mean? So can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Hello?
you. Yes, we're hearing you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Okay, so what I was thinking was when I heard about when I heard the story of saying the island had been destroyed, this came after she told me this after I told her about Building 7 and saying it was gone. WTC 7 is gone and it's still standing. For her to say, well, that was like when the earthquake hit, they said the island was gone. And, I thought to myself, maybe they did some geoengineering of some sort. So they put out fake
Hey, Cerebra.
press releases. No, I have no proof, obviously, but she's an islander and she lived it firsthand and was lived it.
Okay, what I'm gathering is that they're putting out media information that the island was totally destroyed, the island was gone, and of course that was total bullshit. But I want to tell you, Cerebra, your audio is absolutely as choppy as can be. I don't know if you have too many background. Yeah, she's gone. She's gonna. I was gonna tell her to leave and come back. Cerebra, if you're listening, I don't. I assume you're not listening, because if you're in the Hangout, you should have the other video muted or whatever. I'm going to move forward, you guys. Cerebra Sauna is probably going to reconnect with us in a moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start my screen share. I want to get into this video, you guys. Let me know when you've got me full screen. And we're going to break this video down. And Cerebra will join us again if she can. Hopefully she's got a decent enough connection. She's in Italy. I assume she's in a hotel somewhere in Italy. Robomax is with us. ET is with us. Who else do we have? Anybody new? John Baptist. Who else? Anybody else new? I don't see anybody else new. Okay, I'm going to move forward, you guys. I am going to show you something. We're going to play this video. Please, Gandalf and Blue Blood, I need you guys to give me some feedback so that you can let me know that you can hear this video. Make sure that the audio is coming through.
Yeah, I can see it on the screen.
You can see it. Okay.
And
can you hear it? You can hear it?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. Here we go.
Let me tell you about Jonas. Jonas is 19 years old.
19 years old.
He studies law in Munich.
He studies law.
In his spare time, he likes to play soccer. Jonas has a secret which he thinks he cannot share with anyone, not even with his best friend or with his parents. He's just too afraid of anger, rejection, and repulsion. Jonas knows that he has to suppress his sexual drive for his entire life. And he also knows that there will never be a loving and fulfilling partnership that he can enter.
I have to stop right there, because we already know that this is about pedophilia. And she just said that he knows that he cannot have a loving and fulfilling partner. Does anybody feel sorry at this point? This woman is talking slow. She has long pause in between her words. I'm going to back it up just a second. Listen again and be reminded, she is talking about this character named Jonah. He's 19 years old. He studies law in Munich. He's a pedophile. And he will not be able to fulfill his life dream of having a loving partner. Listen again.
That there will never be a loving and fulfilling partnership that he can enter.
Okay, does anybody feel sorry for this guy yet? Do I have audio? I need feedback.
I see where this is going.
I know I got sound. I need feedback, because my microphone sometimes cuts out on me. I need to make sure that you're hearing the audio.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so does anybody feel sorry for this fucking guy yet? He cannot have a loving, fulfilling partner. In other words, he's a pedophilia. Poor pedophilia. He'll never have a loving, fulfilling partner.
My answer to that, everything in life is a choice.
Is a pedophile. He's only attracted to female children between the ages of 6 and 12 years. But since he's aware of the consequences for the children, he has never given in to his sexual drive. What is pedophilia? And what is it not? The International Classification System for Illnesses. Pedophilia is coded as the sexual preference for pre-adolescent children. It is listed under the sexual disorders. Whether the persistent occurrence of sexual thoughts and feelings for pre-adolescent children have been acted upon or not is not relevant to the diagnosis.
Hang on a second. She just said it was listed under the DSM, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, as a disorder.
Persistent occurrence of sexual thoughts and feelings for pre-adolescent children have been acted upon or not is not relevant.
It's not relevant.
Diagnosis. Like every other sexual orientation, pedophilia.
I want to play that again.
Thoughts and feelings for pre-adolescent. It is listed under the sexual disorders.
Disorders.
Whether the persistent occurrence of sexual thoughts and feelings for pre-adolescent children have been acted upon or not is not relevant.
So whether or not they've been acted upon or not is not relevant, she says.
To the diagnosis. Like every other sexual orientation, pedophilia can have different characteristics. For example, it can be heterosexual,
homosexual, bisexual.
Some pedophiles are exclusively attracted to children. Others are not exclusively attracted to children, but they're also sexually interested in adults.
So some pedophiles are not exclusively interested in children, but they're also interested in adults.
But their main sexual interest lies within children. Only if this main sexual interest is given, we talk about pedophilia.
So their main interest is children, and she says only when there's main interest then we talk about pedophilia.
The vast majority of all pedophiles are men.
Wrong. Okay, vast majority, yes. But later on, she gives a statistic, 99%. Later on, she says that. It's completely wrong.
99%.
There it is.
Within the male
99%. I'll play that again.
About 99%. 99%.
There it is, 99%.
Within the male population, 1 to 2% are considered to be pedophiles.
Okay, I'm going to stop it again. 1 to 2% are considered pedophiles in the general population. And then she goes on to say that that turns out to 60 million people.
This translates to about 60 million people worldwide.
That's a fucking problem.
This is as much as the population of Italy or South Africa. Therefore, pedophilia is not an irrelevant phenomenon we can't simply ignore. Chances every one of you knows at least one pedophile are higher than that you don't know anyone. We haven't found out yet why pedophilia occurs.
I'm not sure if that's even relevant why it occurs.
Biological, social, and psychological factors to it. It occurs unrelated to socio-economical status and unrelated to educational level. So generally speaking, anyone could be born a pedophile. It is crucial to understand the difference between pedophilia and child sexual abuse, which is illegal and must always be. Pedophilia is only the sexual preference for pre-adolescent children.
I'm going to come back to this. I have a problem with what she's saying right here. We'll come back to this.
The difference between child sexual abuse and pedophilia becomes very obvious when we look at scientific studies. Think about it for yourself. What do you think? What percentage of child molesters are pedophiles?
What percentage of child molesters are pedophiles? Okay, so I am going to pause and I'm going to go and look at the chat. I want my panel members and my chat members to answer that question before I move forward. I want to know what percentage of child molesters are pedophiles. Give me your answers.
That was set up as a trick question.
Give me your answer. What percentage? Give me just guess off the top of your head. 1%, 10%, 100%, 50%, 80%, 75%. What percentage of child molesters, sexual molesters, What percentage are pedophiles?
All of them.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, I already saw the video, but I would have said like 40, 50%.
You know what they say about bridge builders, right?
No, what?
Well, you build one bridge. They don't call you a bridge builder for the rest of your life. I built one bridge. Nobody's ever called me a bridge builder. But suck one cock. What do they call you? There's the answer to that question.
Okay,
Right?
well,
You do it once. You're done.
all right, well, I'm checking the chat. Most people are saying 100%. John Baptist said 50%. I'm a little bit shocked that you would say that. Everybody else is saying 50, 50, 50. I mean, 100, 100, 100. All Border of Chaos says all. Everybody else is saying 100%. 99.5%. Okay, I'll go with that. 100%, 100%. Anybody else hasn't answered, I will move forward. I really want your answers. Does everybody think John Baptist, you might want to reconsider because it's 100%. You don't fucking molest, you don't sexually molest children for any other reason. And this bitch right here is going to give you, she's going to try to persuade you that that's not the case. And her argument is terrible. Here we go.
Have a guess. Is it 20%, 40, 60, maybe even 80%? In fact, scientific studies indicate that only 20 to 30% of all child molesters are pedophiles.
Fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit. 20 to 30% of child molesters are pedophiles.
And who
Fuck
paid for
you.
the studies?
Yeah. What would you say?
Who paid for the studies?
Thank you. Exactly. What studies? What scientific studies? She's not citing anything. She just says, according to scientific studies.
Yeah.
Bullshit, lady. Bullshit. And let's listen to her reasons. Here we go.
The vast majority of perpetrators are not pedophiles.
Bullshit.
They're sexually interested in adults.
Bullshit.
Children can easily become victims of child sexual abuse because of their loyalty and because of ease of access.
So because of child's loyalty to a parent or a caregiver, this is the source.
For example, a stepfather.
Child's loyalty is a problem now, is it?
What?
Child's loyalty is now the problem?
Yeah.
Because of their loyalty and because of ease of access.
Ease of access.
For example.
So wait a minute. Let me just get this straight. Because a child has loyalty to a caregiver, and because a caregiver has ease of access, this is just natural occurring sexual abuse. People just do this naturally because they have ease of access. Fuck you, lady. Fuck you. People who don't have a proclivity to abuse children sexually don't abuse children sexually simply because they have a fucking ease of access. Fuck you.
A stepfather might abuse his stepdaughter.
Listen to this.
Because he feels anger or jealousy towards her mother.
Did you hear that? I'm going to play it again. Listen to this fucking shit.
For example, a stepfather might abuse his stepdaughter because he feels anger or jealousy towards her mother.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
Did you hear that? A stepfather will abuse a stepdaughter because he feels anger or jealousy towards the stepmother. Fuck you, lady. Fuck you.
So at least he has his reasons then, eh?
That's just, oh my God. I wish I could, I want to punch my fucking computer right now. Are you fucking kidding me?
When I originally watched this and they said the 20, 30% thing, like, so basically this is people who act upon their desires, right?
A stepfather will abuse a stepdaughter because of anger or jealousy towards the stepmother. Oh my God. Really? Lady, I've been in relationships where I dated women who had children, and I've had relationship problems. Obviously, I'm not with any of those women. I've got a wife now. She doesn't have children. I've dated women with children, and we've had our problems. Did I sexually abuse those children? And yes, they were girls. The children of my girlfriends were girls. No, you goddamn right. The answer is fucking no, because I'm not a fucking pedophile. I'm not a fucking sicko psychopath. Because I got a problem. Because I'm having a problem with my girlfriend doesn't mean I'm going to sexually abuse the child. You fucking bitch. God damn.
And you wouldn't allow anybody else to even get close to those kids, even though they're not yours. I've been there too.
You're fucking A right. Even if I was pissed off at the mother, I wouldn't allow somebody else to get close to the kid. God damn this bitch. All right, all right, here we go. I'm gonna continuing.
Well, we're not entirely sure it's a woman yet.
Okay. All right, continuing.
Got some attributes going on there.
Pedophile abuses children.
Not every pedophile abuses children. Okay, I'll concede. Not every pedophile abuses children. True statement.
And not everyone who abuses children is a pedophile.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Not everyone who abuses children is a pedophile. Bullshit. You can abuse a child sexually. Guess what, pal? You're a fucking pedophile. Sorry.
Yeah,
anyone disagree? Does anyone disagree with me? If you abuse a child sexually under any circumstances, I don't give a fuck if you're mad at the girlfriend's mom, the child's mom, or whatever. Does anyone agree with me?
Even just once, you earned the name.
Thank you. Even just like you said, you suck one cock and you're a cocksucker for the rest of your life.
There you go.
You abuse one fucking child sexually, and guess what, pal? You're a fucking sexual predator. You're a fucking pedophile. End of story.
Differentiating between these two groups is essential.
No, it's not.
Let me be very clear here.
Yeah, let's be clear.
Abusing children is wrong without any doubt.
Fucking A.
But a pedophile who doesn't abuse children has done nothing wrong.
Okay, that's a true statement.
Well, we need to come up with a different name for those people.
No, they're still pedophiles, because if you're a pedophile, because in her instance, her example is this guy Jonah that she talks about. He's 19 years old. He's 19 years old. He studies law in Munich. He's 19, and he's outed himself. He has not acted on it, but he has outed himself, and so she knows about this guy. That's how she knows, because he's outed himself. He's not acted on it. He's not been accused. He's not been arrested. Okay, so he's not in trouble. He's not acted on his desires. Back up a second.
I want to quickly summarize where we are at the moment. According to current research, pedophilia is an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like, for example, heterosexuality.
It's an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like heterosexuality.
Was that straight out of the Talmud?
I might agree with that statement. If you are sexually attracted to children, it's probably unchangeable. Just like if you're a gay man or woman, you don't choose who you're sexually attracted to. So I would probably agree that this is an unchangeable sexual orientation. That doesn't make it okay. It doesn't mean that society should somehow feel sorry for pedophiles in any way, shape, or form. But let's move on.
No one chooses to be a pedophile. No one can cease being one. The difference between pedophilia and other sexual orientations is that living out this sexual orientation will end in a disaster.
Okay. So no one can choose to be a pedophile, and no one can choose not to be. I would agree. Just like being gay or being trans, if that's who you are, then that's who you are. Acting on your feelings is a different story. Anyone disagree with me so far?
No.
Totally, man.
Okay.
So let's think about Jonas again.
Let's think about Jonas.
How can we help him?
How can we help Jonas?
Such a disaster.
I'm going to back up.
How can we help him not to cause such a disaster? How can we help him not to live out his sexual urges?
Okay, now this is a question that's worth discussing for a moment. How can we help Jonas, this poor 19-year-old kid who has acknowledged openly, at least to somebody, this woman or a therapist or somebody, he's acknowledged and openly admitted that he's attracted to 6 to 12-year-old girls. 6 to 12-year-old girls is his focus. How do you help someone like that? Anybody? Anybody?
Drop him off at a state penitentiary for the night. I bet you'll change his mind after he meets Bubba.
Thank you. You know how pedophiles are treated in prison, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The guys in prison, they don't take kindly to pedophiles. I mean, you get the worst of the worst. When you go to jail and you're outed as a pedophile, nobody respects you. You'll never gain respect, and you are the most abused person in prison. So this is a legitimate question. This is a legitimate question. How do we help dear poor Jonah? How do we help Jonah? He's a pedophile. He's sexually attracted to 6 to 12-year-old girls. How do we help him? Anybody? Anybody got any suggestions?
I'll give you mine.
All right, besides a little sarcasm, and I agree with you, Blue, drop him off at the nearest penitentiary. But look, let's be honest. If he hasn't acted on it, he hasn't broken any laws. Okay, that's sarcasm. You don't go to prison for not acting, right? You go to prison when you act out. But this is a legitimate question. I'm serious now. Serious, legitimate question. How do you help someone who wants to be out and helped? With someone who outs himself, who says, yes, this is my internal attraction, this is my feeling. How do we normies, how do us normies help someone like that? Is there help? Is it possible? What do you think?
There's psychiatrists that could help him, I'm sure.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure. I don't trust psychiatry so much, but I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, that's probably the best answer. I don't know what else to suggest. I would suggest 24-hour surveillance. I would suggest that somebody who outs themselves as a pedophile be automatically placed on a pedophile list and be treated as though they were a convicted pedophile, in that they are not allowed to live near or be near schools, daycare centers, priests who have altar boys, access to children, right? That would be number one priority, is to keep them away from fucking kids.
All the guy has to do is move to a country where it's socially acceptable, and there's a few of them.
Wouldn't that be the number one priority? Because once someone is convicted, what do? We keep them away from kids. You're not allowed to live in areas where you're close to a daycare, or you don't get to work for a daycare. You're not a teacher. You don't get to be around kids, right? Isn't that what we do?
Another way of looking at this too, though, which we've all argued against, is the guy's trying to be honest, I suppose. And now we've made it a thought crime where we can, we're going to put a law in place where this guy admits it and we're going to throw him in jail.
Oh, you just brought up a really interesting point.
Right. So this can get real sticky on that thought.
Good job, Blue. Good job, Blue. Good job. Because you're 100% right. Now we have to treat this as a thought crime. Because honestly, what else do you do? This is a good point you brought up, dude. Seriously, good point.
And that opens up a can of whoop ass for a lot of other stuff.
Oh my God, seriously, good point. Because I mean, if you're somebody like this character Jonah, whether he's real or not, if you're somebody who has decided to out yourself and say, look, I need help. This is my orientation. This is what I'm attracted to. I haven't acted. I'm not accused. I'm not convicted, but this is how I feel. What do we do as a society? What do we do? Well, you got to keep them away from kids, okay? Number one. So now we're talking about surveillance. So now it's like, okay, where are you, and and what time, and where were you, and where are you? Where are you going, and who's going to be there, and are you going to be alone are there going to be kids? And so now, yeah, you're right. It's like you have to treat it like a thought crime. Dude, this is a serious point you just brought up.
Well, then that can stem off into something else. You know, there's this whole
Oh yeah, you're talking about a precedent
now where people are saying that they're being mind programmed electronically.
Yeah, now you're talking about setting a precedent.
Now you can set people up, right? And all somebody has to do is just go to a police officer, say that guy's a pedophile. They'll go and arrest his ass, and now you got this whole law litigation thing going on. The guy hasn't done anything, because that's happening to people in other aspects of life on its own.
Well, yeah, not just pedophilia, but I mean, sexual abuse, women. I mean, there are a lot of false allegations of female, adult sexual abuse. There's a lot of false allegations. So yeah, I agree with you. So honestly, and I'm not reading the chat, you guys, I'm screen sharing. So if you guys are giving me answers in the chat, I'm sorry, I can't see it. I've got a full screen and I can't see the chat, so I'm sorry. Honestly, I only have my panel. And Cerebra, if you can, please come back in. I would like your opinion. If you can, if it's not too late for you. Honestly, guys, what do we do about this? What ideas, what could be done? If somebody outs themselves as a pedophile, as this is my desire, I've not acted on it, I'm not arrested, I'm not convicted, I'm not accused, but this is how I feel. What should society do with that?
You'd have to find a way to help them, because it's pretty hard to punish somebody that's trying to be honest.
That's a little bit too vague. I agree with you. Find a way to help them. I mean, I'm interested.
The whole thing is, how do you mass surveil this many people that come forward?
Well, probably contact the NSA. If you want mass surveillance, they're the people to talk to.
There we go. Now we're all under surveillance. I had a pedophilia thought now. See where this is all leading? We're all making up reasons why everything that we don't want to have happen, that's already happening anyway. We're another reason for all that stuff. It's a vicious cycle, it seems.
I don't know a way out of this, you guys. I'm fishing for ideas. So I mean, I'm curious, like,
Order of Chaos says to chip them all.
Okay, so I'm going to back up a few seconds and I'll start this again. Here we go.
How can we help him not to live out his sexual urges? How can we?
So how can we help him to not live out his sexual urges? Well, I'll tell you what, sweetheart. How about a stiff fucking prison sentence? How about execution? How about public execution? Because if you act out and you harm a child in a sexual way, if you ask me, and I know my answer is going to be a little bit harsh to some people, I would suggest a mass public flogging. You know what I mean? Like a public execution. If you're going to act out your urges on it, I don't give a fuck if you were born this way. I'm sorry for you. That sucks. Look, we all are born and we all have problems, and it sucks that we all don't get to live our dreams, and that just sucks for everybody. We all have to get over it. Guess what, pal? Sexual abuse on a child is the number one, probably the above murder, I would say.
So all these people that may be having these thoughts, and say this guy that admits it, now, is he saying he doesn't have the courage to do it? He's never going to act on it ever? And I mean, if somebody's never going to act on, say, a thought they had, are they really a problem?
Yes, they're a problem, because
then you would need everybody admitting to having that thought then.
I know, right? Because now we're opening a whole can of worms with that one.
Yeah, this is getting, we're gonna circle the wagons here.
This is not looking good for the rest of us.
No, it's kind of a cut and dry on well, you did it or you're not going to.
But the question at this point is, how do we help poor Jonah not act out his sexual urges? Well, I'll be honest with you. And this is just my opinion. I think Jonah needs to be under fucking deep, dark, total surveillance. And that just sucks for Jonah. But you know what? And you know what's going to happen is, if that happens, then all the other pedophiles who thought that, oh, they might come out because they need help and they want to ask for help and they don't want to be under total surveillance. Well, guess what? It just sucks for you. You're in the 1 or 2%, as this woman states. And by the way, isn't that the same statistic that psychopaths are under? 1 to 2%?
But the whole thing is, if this is stigmatized, well, it is stigmatized already, but nobody's going to come forward with this information. You know what I mean?
Well,
Exactly.
especially if they see the ramifications. If Jonah comes out and all of a sudden the state puts him under 24-hour surveillance, it's not encouraging for other pedophiles to come out, right?
No, and then you have the religious sects that make it normal.
Yeah, these guys are going to perpetually operate in the shadows until they push one of these TED Talks and it actually takes off. Because I think they were expecting this to be taken not as harshly as it has been.
You know what I see happening with this? They're going to make it a religious right. It's just like I went and got my license renewed the other day and they wanted to take a new picture. I can't wear my hat. But a Muslim, a Sikh, they can all wear their head garb, but I can't wear a hat. I said, this is my religion. This hat is my religion. No, it's not recognized. You know, what do if I'm a Christian, can I wear a crown of thorns to get my license taken?
Hey, hang on. You're in Canada, so you don't have the First Amendment.
No, we don't.
So you don't have freedom of speech and you don't have the freedom of religion. So in America, the First Amendment means freedom of religion, which means that the state shall not get involved in any way in promoting or discouraging any religion whatsoever.
Oh no, we have that religious right here too. But me without one, I don't have the right to wear a hat because I don't have a said religion that I can stand behind.
Wait. You said you have that religious right. I don't know what that means. State it.
Well, if I'm a Muslim or if I'm a Sikh, I can wear a turban or whatever.
Give me the law.
Yeah, under the law, those people can wear that stuff to have their driver's license picture taken. But I can't wear a regular hat.
But what does the law say?
That they have the right to wear that stuff to have their license picture taken. But I don't have the right because there's no religious law that says I can just wear a hat.
No, I think you're paraphrasing. I'm looking for the law specifically so that we can discern what you're talking about. Because when you say that they can wear that, I'm pretty sure.
He's basically referring to how if you're a Muslim, you can go into a photo ID center anywhere in Canada.
I get it. You're being general again.
No. You can have a full face veil and only have your eyes being exposed.
But what does the law state?
That they have that right. It's a religious right.
So the law states specifically that they have that right? Is that what you're telling me that they? Yes. That's what it says in the law. If I was to pull up Canadian law, it would say that quote, they have that right. Come on, you're being a little bit general. Who?
Muslims. You cannot discriminate against a Muslim woman who wants to have a full face.
Or Sikhs with their turban, or Jewish people with the yarmulke. Yeah. Christians have no head garb, and I don't know any other religions around here that have
in America, the First Amendment says that the state shall make no law abridging the free practice of religion. I'm paraphrasing. I'm trying to quote it to the best of my knowledge, and I'm forgetting most of it. That the state shall make no law abridging the freedom of religion or the what's the word? Something thereof, or the prohibit or the prohibition thereof, or something like that. So, in other words, in America, the state is not supposed to even get involved at all. Because when the state gets involved by saying that these guys can wear this and you can't wear that, meaning you're not allowed to wear this, then now the state is getting involved in deciding which religions are valid, and that opens up a big-ass can of worms for them. Okay, so that we're off topic. I want to move on. I'm going to back up a few seconds. I want to move on.
Live out his sexual urges. How can we prevent child sexual abuse?
How can we prevent child sexual abuse? I'll tell you what, the best way to prevent child sexual abuse is to let every pedophile know that if you ever fucking get caught, that we're going to hang you by your toenails, we're going to cover you in honey, and we're going to dip you in a fucking fire ant hill.
See, there's one thing, honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to Muslims, they have harsh punishments. See, if this were to go down in Canada, somebody were to sexually assault a child, you know, they might get 20 years, 15 years in jail or something like that. It should be mandatory that if you sexually assault a child, you're castrated. End of deal. That's it, you know.
If you ask me, I would go even harsher than that, because to be honest, we don't need people like that in society. We have enough population, and we can do without that 1% of people who have that tendency. I say fuck you to all you sexual abusers of children. I say you deserve to be tied to an anthill in the Arizona hot sun at 110 degrees, tied to a fire anthill, and we should pour fucking meat sauce on your ass, and we should put it on YouTube so that all the other fucking sexual predators can see what happens when you get fucking caught. I think the harshest punishment possible, I think you should be drawn and quartered. I think you should be boiled in oil on YouTube, in live, in public. That's what I think. I think the harshest punishment that you could possibly conceive is what these fucking people deserve, not our sympathy. And it sucks. And I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. But if you're one of those people and you're born with this particular sexual orientation and it's not your choice and you can't help who you're sexually attracted to, then your choice is one of two things. You act or you don't act.
So the first big roundup would be the Catholic Church, the Vatican. Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, we'd have to replace the entire cardinal priesthood of the Catholic Church if that went down.
Replace it, just abolish it all.
Yeah, I think it should all be abolished. Okay, so let's move on.
In fact, scientific studies indicate that one of the strongest predictors for child sexual abuse committed by pedophiles is social isolation.
One of the strongest predictors is social isolation. Keep that in mind.
People who can't tell anyone that they're pedophiles logically won't get any help.
I don't know if there is any help, because you just said, honey, you just said that it's a sexual orientation that they don't choose and that they cannot change. So what kind of help do you actually expect to give someone who has a sexual orientation that they did not choose and that they cannot change? Moving on.
For example, they can't tell their friends that they can't go to the beach because children in swimsuits might be there as well.
Wait. What? They can't go to the beach?
For example, they can't tell their friends that they can't go to the beach because children in swimsuits might be there as well.
What do you mean might be there? When you go to the beach, that's what you're going to see. People in swimsuits, men, women, children. So am I supposed to feel sorry for pedophiles because they can't go to the fucking beach? Wait a minute. Go to the fucking beach. That doesn't mean you're going to molest a child on the beach with their fucking parents standing right there. What the fuck are you talking about, lady?
They can't get support for situations they might not control entirely.
Support for situations they can't control entirely. Okay. How do we support pedophiles who can't control situations entirely? So a pedophile who goes to the beach and sees a child in a bathing suit and can't control the situation, but he can control his own personal behavior, right? Anyone?
Yeah.
I mean, are we not in control of our own fucking behavior? No, we can't control the situation. Do you control your own behavior? Moving on.
And they can never be completely frank with someone else.
No, you probably can't be completely frank because it's such a stigma and it's so despised by humanity and society, and for good fucking reason, I would add, that no, you can't be completely frank with friends and family. I mean, honestly, if you were a sexual predator, if you were a child pedophile, who the fuck would you even want to try to tell? And why? Hey, John, hey, Blue, we're hanging out at the bar, or you're over at my house and we're jamming, having a guitar session. Hey, I know we're having a good time, but I wanted to talk serious. I just want to let you know that I've got this thing for 6-year-old kids. What do I do? Can you help me, pal? What do I do? Of course not. You're never going to come to my fucking house again.
Yeah, no.
That's how reviled these people are.
I know families that have been through this stuff, and it's traumatic.
It sucks. I don't doubt. I'm not denying that it sucks. It sucks for the people involved. It sucks for the people that are victims. It sucks. But you have a choice. You act on your desires. Hey, look, I've got desires, and sometimes they're not good, but I don't act on those. When I have terrible desires, I want to bash somebody over the head with a wine bottle. Right? If I want to run somebody off the road, like today on my way to work, I'm doing 10 miles over the speed limit. It's 65 miles an hour speed limit. I'm doing 75. I got a guy behind me flashing his fucking lights. And when he passed me, he flipped me the bird.
Well, obviously he's in a rush in his life.
Well, he wasn't in that much of a rush because he got a little bit ahead of me, and then I followed him for 5 or 10 more miles. It wasn't like he was trying to do 90. Not like he was trying to get to the hospital. You know what I mean? It's not like his wife was in labor. He didn't have his flashers on like he had a medical emergency. It's just that I wasn't going quite fast enough for him. He only wanted to do about 3 miles an hour faster than me. He barely fucking passed me. But he flipped me off on the way because I didn't move out of his way.
Yeah, he doesn't realize you can't make up time.
But yeah, play this, man.
Look, I wanted to run the fucking guy off the road. Did I act on that behavior? No. Right? I had desire to fucking shoot the guy if I had a weapon. But did I? No. Did I run him off the road? No. I wish I could have reached through my window and punched him in the face as we drove. Did I? Of course not, because it's not physically possible. But honestly, I didn't act. You know what I mean? I have lots of terrible desires on occasion. We all do, don't we?
Yeah, out of frustration.
Out of frustration, we have terrible desires and thoughts. Do we act on them? No, because it's called self-control. Sorry, I'm getting loud and shit. And this is all right. I'm going to back up a few seconds and we'll move on.
We can make a difference for Jonas.
We can make a difference for Jonas.
As a society, can be there for him.
We can be there for him.
At the moment, we live in a world that already excludes pedophiles because of their preference alone.
No. We exclude pedophiles not because of their preference alone, because of the psychological and physical trauma that they cause to children. Not because of their sexual preference alone. See how she tries to marginalize this?
Someone who's lonely and excluded from society has little to lose and is at much higher risk to commit a crime, like, for example, child sexual abuse.
So someone who's lonely and excluded from society is at a higher risk. So what is the alternative? To welcome him with open arms? Come on in, pal. It's okay. Everybody has their own sexual preference. It's okay. We understand. You're okay. What are we supposed to do with this?
We can make Jonas feel that he stays a valuable member of our society.
We can make Jonah feel. It's all about the feelings, isn't it? Social justice interrupted. It's all about the feelings. We can make Jonas feel as though he's a valuable member of society, because that's what we need. That's what society needs, right? Is more fucking pedophiles.
although he's a pedophile. Right now, most of us feel discomfort when we think about this scenario.
For good reason,
And
honey.
most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles.
For good reason.
But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them.
That's tough shit. Does anyone disagree with me? Just like pedophiles, we're not responsible for our feelings. Guess what, sweetheart? Welcome to humanity. We have feelings, and sometimes those feelings make us want to do terrible things, and we don't always act on them. And when we do, society has laws to deal with them. So this bitch wants you to feel sorry for pedophiles. I'm sorry, I just can't tolerate that.
Sounds like she's trying to start a Pedos Anonymous group.
She's trying to normalize pedophilia.
Yep.
We do not choose them, but we are responsible for our actions.
Damn right.
And we must make a decision. It is an our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles.
Wait. Whoa. It's our responsibility to overcome our negative feelings toward pedophilia, to pedophiles? It's our responsibility to overcome our feelings toward pedophiles. Are you fucking kidding me?
So in other words, accept it.
Holy fucking shit. I want to punch my computer again.
And to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with.
We do treat them with the same respect. You dare act on that fucking emotion and you wind up in prison if you don't get killed. Because there are cases, there's a case that I remember specifically. A guy was acquitted for the murder of a guy who he caught molesting his daughter. And he punched the fucking guy and beat the guy until he died. And he was acquitted for that murder. And everyone on, there was not a single jury member that would fucking charge this guy because he literally caught a man in his daughter's bedroom and he beat the guy till he died. You don't believe me? Look up that fucking article. Because that's how society reviles pedophiles, sweetheart. That's how it is.
We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life.
You're fucking A right, they won't be able to live it out freely if they want to live an upright life. Interesting choice of words, by the way, an upright life.
She just contradicted herself.
We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference, a thought, a feeling, and not an act.
We do.
We should differentiate between child sexual abuse and pedophilia.
Not really.
We shouldn't increase the suffering of pedophiles.
We shouldn't increase the suffering of pedophiles. Oh, does anybody's heartstrings being tugged on feel sorry for pedophiles?
We shouldn't increase the suffering of pedophiles by excluding them, by blaming and mocking them. By doing that, we increase their isolation and we increase the chance of child abuse.
Wait
Also,
a second.
if you hurt their feelings now they're going to act on it.
It's our fault because we didn't accept them with open arms that we are increasing the chances of sexual child abuse because society doesn't accept pedophiles. Because if we don't accept pedophiles, then they are further isolated and then they're more likely to abuse. And so it's our fault. Is that what you're trying to say?
Sounds like she just come back from Epstein's Island.
Only if they make themselves recognizable, because they're not afraid of punishment, of anger and rejection.
Only if they make themselves recognizable, because they're not afraid of anger and rejection and resentment. Okay, so what? What are you saying? Like that we're supposed to welcome them like the LGBTQ community? Like it's okay that you having these thoughts and it's all good and it's all, I'm here for you, Frank. And I mean, what is it you're trying to say here?
Ding, ding.
Can we better understand the causes of pedophilia and we can improve their treatment? We can help them accept their sexuality and help them learn to refrain from acting on their sexual urges.
Help them learn to refrain from acting on their sexual urges. You know, the best way to do that is deterrence. And that is that when they get the message that if you ever get fucking caught, that you're going to be flogged in public, you're going to spend the rest of your life in fucking jail. You're going to go to prison, and you know damn well that prisoners don't take kindly to pedophiles. Deterrence is the best way to stop them, to make them refrain from acting.
It's harm to children. We can encourage
Back up a few seconds.
Can help them accept their sexuality and help them learn to refrain from acting on their sexual urges, which cause harm to children. We can encourage them never to commit child sexual abuse.
We can encourage them. You know what, sweetheart? We're already doing that. It's called the penal system. Somebody else talk. I can't fucking take this.
Yeah,
We can encourage.
She's saying it right there. We can encourage them. Yeah, you encourage them by, here's the law. I encourage you not to do this because this is what happens.
Fucking A.
It's that simple. That's all it should ever be.
Well, what if we're going?
I encourage you not to drink and drive, although we socially accept it sometimes. Because here's the law.
That's right. That's what we have laws for, is to encourage and discourage behavior. That's what laws are for, to encourage and discourage behavior. That is exactly why we have laws. Go ahead, Gandalf. You will say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, well, what if we're going about this the wrong way, guys? What if, in 50 years from now, people will look back on us like Neanderthals, not letting black people sit at the front of the bus?
Oh, they're going to look at us like bigots because we didn't accept pedophiles into our society.
Yeah, this is gonna start getting pushed, man. Like it's like the whole
This is the push.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be TV. There'll be so much shit on TV on this in the next coming year or two. They already have all the rest of the shows.
There's actually been a few movies and TV shows that have come out pushing this, eh?
I'm telling you, I've already seen articles going back at least a year old. All right, continuing on.
We can help them refrain from entering dangerous situations they might not control entirely.
No, sweetheart. You control entirely your personal behavior. You might be in a situation where you're a pedophile and you're surrounded by a bunch of children and there's no adults present whatsoever. You still have control over your behavior, honey. End of fucking story.
And we can prescribe medication.
Oh, there it is. Did you hear that?
We will give them the medication.
We will subscribe you some medication.
This has to be going down in Germany, man.
And we can prescribe medication.
There it is.
This approach has already been successful.
This approach has already been successful.
In the last 10 years.
What?
This has already been successful at the Deutschlandfinden
Mangala was doing this shit.
We already developed the pharmaceuticals. All you need to do is take them.
We have been preparing the pharmaceuticals for 10 years for this exact situation.
IG Farben has been hard at work.
We have been working on the best medication for people with these problems.
Unbelievable.
And Bayer has just purchased Monsanto.
Yeah, this message brought to you by Monsanto.
You are against the pedophile? Are you also a bigot against the black people?
Are you not taking your prescribed medication?
I feel bad. My grandmother was German.
Have you not been taking your prescriptions?
I think that I must write a report to the commandant about your behavior online.
Dude, honestly. She's talking about medication, prescriptions. Prescriptions for what, sweetheart? To change sexual orientation? Are you telling me that she just said it was successful? She said this has already been tried and it's been successful. I'm going to back it up.
The key is in the last 10 years.
I want to know how successful, what trials, who's been tried, what medication, who's making the medication, what's in the medication, what does the medication do? Because she's talking about changing sexual orientation with medication. Thank you. I'm getting loud.
I think I know what it is. It's whiskey.
Whiskey. I mean, this bitch is talking about medication for pedophiles. She just started her whole presentation about this is a sexual orientation that they do not choose, that they cannot change. And she just got done saying that we've had success with medication, prescriptions, pharmaceuticals. Really? You got pharmaceuticals that are going to change people's fucking sexual orientation? Really? Is that what you just said?
This approach has already been successful. In the last 10 years, more than 9,500 people have received help in a prevention network called Kein Täter werden.
Oh, did that not sound German or what?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys nailed it right there. This is fucking, I'm going to back it up again.
Yeah.
So she just said in the last 10 years that they've had success with 9,500 people. A minute ago, she said 60 million fucking people.
Das Deutschland Medical Research Facility has already been successful.
So 60 million people are pedophiles, according to this chick and her statistics. And in 10 years, by the way, 10 years, they've had success treating 9,500 people. That's not a very good start. But okay, I'm backed it up. We're going to go again.
Have received help in a prevention network called Kein Täter, and 500 people. In the last 10 years, more than 9,500 people have received help in a prevention network called Kein Täter werden.
Kein Täter werden. Ja, das ist gut. Ja, das ist gut. Ja, pharmaceutical, das ist gut.
The medical researchers at Deutschland Central Hospital have discovered that the medication pills will solve all problems from now on. We must distribute worldwide to all people with pedophile provocations.
We must make it a vaccine.
The best solution we have come up with so far is worldwide water medication. We must medicate the water supply to all people to ensure all pedophiles are medicated properly.
There will be, of course, people who go against this new breakthrough of research. But those people will be destroyed, like we destroy all who stand before the new world order.
Oh, stop, Gandalf. You're making my cheeks hurt.
Of course, there will be some side effects. They are minor, including suicidal tendencies, bleeding from the bowels.
There will be a commercial on this soon. You can guarantee it.
Unbelievable. Look how she skips over this. I'll back it up one more. She says, we've had success, and I assume that she means by medication. And she skips right over this whole thing.
In a prevention network called Kein Täter werden.
Kein Täter werden?
Which means don't offend in English.
Das ist good.
At university hospitals in Germany.
Oh.
The last survey shows that 98% have never committed child sexual abuse. Unfortunately, this program is not gonna eradicate child sexual abuse, but it is the first step in the right direction.
Medication. First step.
Pedophiles who have received treatment have a better understanding of who they can turn to in order to prevent abuse before.
They have a better understanding of who they can turn to. Wait. So let me get this straight. So when a pedophile is alone with a child, you think he's going to stop and pick up the phone? Who can I turn to? I'm about to fuck this 6-year-old girl. Maybe I should call somebody. Really?
What happens? Most of you might ask themselves now, why is she telling us that? 5 years ago, I first heard about Jonas's life.
There it is, right there. Did you hear that? 5 years ago, I first heard of Jonas's life.
So he was 14.
Thank you.
14-year-olds are attracted to probably 12-year-olds.
6 to 12.
I doubt 6, but whatever.
Well, that's what she said. 6 to 12. Was
I
Jonas.
never saw a kid that was ever attracted to anybody younger than that when we were that age.
Well, at the beginning of her talk, she said Jonas had a 6 to 12-year-old proclivity.
Yeah.
He
So
was
if it's
attracted
12,
to,
it's normal.
he was attracted to 6 to 12-year-old girls. That's what Jonas's problem. And she just got done saying that I heard about Jonas 5 years ago, and you nailed it. Yes, thank you. And you got it quick. Thank you. 14. So wait a minute. Wait. Stop the presses. How did you hear about Jonas? He's 14. How did you hear about Jonas? We don't get to know that information.
This whole thing is a bunch of horse shit. It's all made up.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to be talking to guys like you because you're not fucking stupid. Thank you. All right. No, go ahead.
My mama didn't raise no fool.
Thank you. Continuing on.
Prior to that, I have never really thought about pedophilia, and I had just adapted the prevalent societal view about it without never really questioning it. I felt anger and disgust about pedophiles.
Really? What a surprise.
My perspective has been completely changed by
Really?
hearing Jonas's
Money.
Hearing Jonas's story. Aw, poor Jonas. He doesn't get to act on his sexual desires of fucking 6-year-old girls.
hearing about his cruel fate and understanding
His cruel
the
fate.
difference between child sexual abuse.
You know what? Look, I'm getting a little bit harsh here. I understand that if you're a pedophile, just like, and I'm sorry if you're in the LGBTQ community, but it is similar because you don't choose who you're attracted to and what your desires are. You don't choose your feelings, your emotions, your desires. I get it. And if you're one of those 1 or 2% of the population and you have a desire to bugger children, I'm not a professional. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what can be done with you. All I know is if you dare act and you dare get caught, then the harshest penalty, including public execution, should be your punishment. A slow, painful death.
You know why she's okay with it all of a sudden? Because she's getting paid.
Probably. Probably. It wouldn't
Paid
surprise me a
to-
damn bit. Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on.
And pedophilia. As a medical student with a background in psychology, I feel it as my responsibility to help others overcome and escape wrong stigmatization and to have a positive impact on our future society.
Wrong stigmatization. I'm sorry, is there something wrong with our stigmatization against pedophilia? Have we wrongly stigmatized pedophilia? Is it society's fault for wrongly stigmatizing this? Anyone?
I just looked at the chat there. Adelaide said you can guarantee that this isn't going on in Israel. The speech or pedophilia?
I'm sorry, Adelaide, but I'm pretty sure pedophilia exists everywhere. So I don't know exactly what she's saying. So maybe I don't know what she meant exactly, but maybe the speech is going on. What's not going on, Adelaide? Clear that up for us. And Blue, keep an eye on the chat and let me know, because I can't see. I'm screen sharing and I can't see the chat. All right, only a couple minutes. Let's go.
By changing our view about pedophilia as a society, and by offering them support and therapy.
Changing our view of pedophilia as a society and offering them support and therapy.
Does she mean that in Israel they aren't normalizing it, or they are?
Well, I'm wondering about what the woman on the TED Talk said about changing our view of society and offering support and therapy to pedophiles. No. Support and therapy? I got therapy for you. It's called prison. It's called you know who you are and you know the law. And if you break that law, this is your punishment. End of story. Hey, what if I was born with a proclivity to drive drunk or drive stoned or to shoot out my car window at random at fucking people who piss me off and flip me a bird and flash their lights because I'm already doing 10 miles over the limit, which wasn't fast enough for him?
Well, it's the same thing as letting psychopaths out on parole and they're going to promise to take their pills.
Society should have sympathy for me because I want to shoot people who flash their lights and then flip me off because I'm already doing 10 over the limit, not fast enough for this asshole. Because that happened to me this morning. So society should feel sorry for me because I shot the guy in the face. Because I was triggered. He triggered me. It wasn't my fault. I was born this way. I can't help my feelings.
Now we're getting into mental health about everything.
No, I mean, no, fuck all you with all your goddamn feelings. Fuck all of you with your feelings. Fuck you and your feelings. Everybody has feelings. I have feelings. You have feelings. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not so good. How you act is how you're judged.
Your feelings don't affect mine.
How you act is how you're judged. Period. This is how society works. I might want to smash some guy in the face with a fucking wine bottle. But do I do it? No. Do I think about it? Sure. Sure, I've had some pretty horrible thoughts in my time. Pretty horrible thoughts. And sometimes when I'm in a moment of anger or a moment of stress, I have some terrible thoughts. Do I act on them? No. Do I harm people? No. Do I act out and, cause havoc and danger and injury to society and people? No. I'm a human. I have terrible thoughts. We all do. It's how you act is how you're judged. Period. I don't give a fuck how you're born. Sorry, I don't care how you're born. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're a pedophile. How you act is how you are judged. Period. Don't care about your feelings. All right, one more minute.
We can help millions of people to live better lives.
We can help millions of people with
and
pharmaceutical.
We can effectively reduce child sexual abuse.
Oh, wait. She just said effectively reduce child sexual abuse. I thought we were talking about pedophilia. She just wanted to make a differentiation a minute ago. So now it's prevent sexual abuse.
No one is responsible for their feelings, but everyone is responsible for their actions.
There it is, right there. Thank you. At least she's not as dumb as she sounds.
Well, she can leave the stage now. She just answered her original proposal.
And her talk is over. So thanks, sweetheart. You're done.
I thank you very much.
And there it is. She's done.
Good. Thank you for all the money.
All right. Cerebra's back with us. Cerebra, you've been so quiet. Are you listening? Are you there, honey?
Oh, she was saying that she's passing out, but she wanted to be able to listen in without it glitching out on her wherever she was.
Okay, she's got a not so good connection. She's probably in a hotel room somewhere in Italy. Cerebra, feel free to pipe in anytime, honey. I'm glad to have you with us. I would really like to get your thoughts on this if it's not too glitchy. I'm going to go back over and have a look at that chat room. Let's see, what do we got going on in the chat?
You could really talk about this subject till you're blue in the face, couldn't you?
You know, I've seen like dozens of articles, at least a dozen. I don't know how many. I honestly don't know how many that are basically doing the same thing that this chick just did, was trying to normalize, literally trying to normalize.
Well, I mean, they're probably doing it in school systems.
Well, have you guys ever heard of that documentary? This came out. Now, I think this whole normalization has been taking place. Someone said since around or mentioned that Lady Gaga song Born This Way. And I think this whole normalization thing, stage of this has been going on for maybe about 10 years, honestly. 4 or 5 years ago, there was a movie, or it was a documentary released on Netflix, and it was, I think it was from Germany or France or something like that, but it was called All Men Are Pedophiles.
Yeah, I think I've seen that title on Netflix. I haven't watched it, though.
Yeah,
What?
and that was 4 years ago, and it blew me away that they, when they put that out on Netflix, I was like, what the fuck is this?
I won't lie, I do appreciate a tight ass, but I'm no fucking pedophile.
Like, but no, it's All Men Are Pedophiles is the name of this documentary. And, you know, when that came out, I was like, this is fucking normalization. Like, this is coming down the tubes sometime soon.
Unbelievable. All men are pedophiles? What was that?
Yeah, check it out. It's on Netflix. All Men Are Pedophiles.
Oh, that's the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, that's the first thing I thought of when I seen that title. I didn't watch it, but that was the first thing I thought of when I seen that title. That's exactly that. What that title is doing is normalizing it, saying that everybody is.
Wow. I'm disgusted, you guys.
We live in a disgusting time.
I can't fucking believe that Ted. Hey, can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Both of my screens went white. My computer is glitching, so just in case you lose me and the chat shuts down, I want to say thanks to everybody. But right now I'm having some computer glitch, and I can hear you and you can hear me, and that's cool. But everything, both the Hangout screen and the live chat screen, I got white screens and nothing is working right now, so my computer is glitching right now. So
Well,
just in case you lose me, I want you to know what's going on. That's why.
man, it always seems you always have these fucked up glitches when it comes to Hangouts, man.
Older computer?
Oh, it's about maybe 4 years old.
Same as mine, and it's terrible now. That's why everything has to be updated, I think, nowadays, is otherwise it won't run at all.
Well, this thing fucking updates itself. A lot of times I don't even have a choice. It won't even it forces me to restart, and I don't even have a choice. It makes me update.
Yeah. Funny how that works out, eh?
I tend to
What is
skip
going on to our computers?
on my cell phone. I tend to skip the updates because it changes shit around, and I hate having to relearn where stuff is, how it works. So
That's what I really question about these updates on these PCs now. What is going on to my computer, and I can't stop it.
Let's see if I can open up a fresh tab. Oh, here we go. The Hangout window was all white, so I don't even know if I can't get the Hangout window to work, then I don't know how to stop the broadcast. So this thing might go on for 8 hours until YouTube shuts itself down. I don't know if that's going to.
You'll have to pull the plug out from the back of your computer, man.
Hey, there was a 2020 show. I think it was 2020, one of those shows, a bunch of years ago, and it was about they had followed this. They were trying to
There was a
figure out what this guy was doing in Vietnam or Cambodia, and he was going down there and having sex with kids down there.
years ago, and it was
And
about
they sat down with the guy, and sure enough, it became a sympathy thing. I don't know if you guys ever seen that or not.
No.
Well, that's actually really common for people to go from the States and they go to Cambodia and they buy they give like the parents like $150. That's like huge money in Cambodia, and they basically have their kid for as long as they want. Like that kind of shit does go on, man.
It's a lot cheaper than that. At least it was then. That show was probably, I'm thinking it was about 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Broadsword said the medication makes you want to molest old age pensioners.
Oh fuck.
They should set it up where you only want to molest priests.
Well, this shit's so pervasive. Like, you guys ever come across Alan Watt, where he goes into how this has been like a long game operation by the social engineers, that eventually they would get to this point, and that was all part of the plan from the beginning.
Yeah, I've listened to him a lot.
I love Alan Watt.
Now, not the dumb guy who his brother came out with the truth that he was just bullshitting people. I think he goes by Alan Watts.
No, the real guy. He seems.
Yeah, the Scottish guy, and he lives in Muskoka.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how many of these people come from Ontario, eh?
Bro,
Hey.
there's so fucking many people from Ontario.
Hey, you guys know about that?
Was from
You guys know about that kid that Shugi Mona in the chat said that 9-year-old kid, that drag kid, that boy who's turning into a tranny. His name is Lactatia.
Oh yeah, that kid. I'm pretty sure that kid's in the GTA or something like that.
Check the chat. Shug Mona typed it out with LACTA capital CIA.
No, that's like this kid, and it's like a 9-year-old who's performing at pageants, and he's like walking down like runway aisles with like adult 20, 30, 40-year-old transsexuals, and he's been accepted into the transsexual community. I'm pretty sure from Toronto.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Don't know if I want to.
Yeah, Lactatia. Lactacia.
Oh, it's fucking sick, man.
Dude, the social engineering has just got me over the fucking barrel. I see it everywhere.
I think honestly, like when it comes to Ontario in particular, I think it's because they push people over the edge to such an extent here. They just went fucking all out crazy in Ontario. Our lesbian premier, which is basically our version of a governor, she got this guy who's a convicted child molester to write the sex ed curriculum for Ontario. And good old Dougie boy, Doug Ford, fucking scrapped that shit. So, and there was this big protest today actually about this in Toronto. how Doug Ford had scrapped this pedophile-written sex ed curriculum for kindergartners.
Man, you know, it's so fucking disturbing. It's good to know from Cerebra that, you know, the encouragement that people are waking up, etc. But we're losing this battle, you guys. Whatever battle this is going on, whatever fight, whatever info war is happening.
You know, it seems like there's been this great awakening that's happened probably since 2012, 2013 of different things for everybody. But yet the agendas keep going through even at a greater speed since everybody's awoke now. You know what I mean? Do you hear me?
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. I'm looking for this. Oh, shit. Root just got kicked.
Oh, I thought it went quiet there.
Oh, I just found the name of the guy. His Kathleen Wynne claims that Levin had nothing to do with what's this fucking guy's full name? Fuck, but Levin. So this guy Levin is the one who was behind the Ontario sex ed curriculum, and she's claiming he had nothing to do with it. But it's out there that he wrote the fucking damn thing, man.
But I think that curriculum's kind of gotten spread around the country, though, too. It's not just Ontario.
Oh yeah, they were gonna roll it out nationwide, but like it was kind of like
what you see it. You know what you see in the news here all the time, just in Calgary alone, is pushing these after-school transgender kids groups. I didn't realize how big it was.
Well, you're out in Alberta now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are they rolling out there? Nothing similar to this, I'm imagining, right?
I haven't really looked at the school curriculum thing much. I just know what I've seen for local stuff and the LGBT stuff, and of course they have their big gay pride here stuff too. It's huge. It's everywhere, man.
Yeah, it's bad all across Canada, and it's all over the States, and it's in everywhere in the Western world. I think nowadays has this whole pervasive system that's trying to implement itself. Like this is just hyper normalization, and you know, Alan Watt just said that yeah, they roll these things out 50, 60 years beforehand. There's been movies that have pertained to this whole thing, this whole subject that have gone back into like the 60s.
Oh yeah, way back in the day, this shit was getting pushed.
What's
way
that one Stanley Kubrick movie? Fuck. I'm trying to think about the name of this old movie, but it was way back in the 60s where it's like this guy who's going after like this young girl or something like that.
Oh, I don't know if I remember that one or not.
But yeah, this has been like a long-term fucking thing that's been coming down the pipes, man.
Since the invention of TV. After World War II, it really kicked off.
Yeah, World War II and just about right after World War II, like this started to, I don't know, the whole 60s thing. You ever got into the whole Laurel Canyon fucking shit show that went down, man?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of stuff on it.
The culture creation that took place in Laurel Canyon, where all these people, like from Jim Morrison to the Mamas and the Papas, they were all hanging out at the same they were all in the same cliques pushing this big thing to get people to come out to California.
Yeah, and it was all CIA funded, something to that effect.
Oh, that's it. Lolita is that's the name of the movie. Oh, and this goes along with that guy John Podesta.
Yeah, well, I don't know him.
Well, but you've heard of him, right? And he's supposed to have that thing.
Way too much.
He's supposed to have that thing called Pedophile Island. the name of his plane that Donald Trump jumps on to go out to that island, and the Clintons would jump on to go out to that island. It's actually called the Lolita Express.
Yep.
Yeah. It sounds like in the upper echelons there, it's almost a blackmail thing too, right? They put them into these situations, give them no way out, make them do it, and now they're in, right? It's just my opinion.
Cerebra.
Now they got them by the balls, literally.
Oh, exactly.
Cerebra, I see you're still with us. Have you got anything to say, honey, before we close this out? Because we're getting near the end, and I know it's late for you, but you're in here. I see you.
Yeah, she's. I think she's probably gone to bed. She was saying she was probably going to pass out earlier.
Okay. Well, Broadsword said, "Sodom all."
Mm-hmm. Good one.
You know the best part about Sodom? The sodomy.
Okay, we shouldn't be ending this off with jokes on that stuff.
Okay, yeah, I know. You're right. That was bad. Bad joke. Hey, it's a Jack Black joke. I got it from the movie Year One. Actually, it was a David Cross joke.
Well, I don't know how many more times I want to cover this subject, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, it's depressing. I don't know what else to fucking do about it except be angry and be talking.
And like everything else that gets brought out in this world, eventually nobody cares. You know what I mean?
That's unfortunate, but you're 100% right. Nobody fucking cares. No, I mean, look.
Drill it down your throat for 2 months, and then you forget all about it.
And I know you're speaking generally, because there are those of us who do care.
Yeah, but on everything in life.
I mean, but honestly, there's 25 people watching right now, and everyone watching cares. And I know that there's more than that, but let's be honest, there are billions of people on
I mean caring as in what can you do?
Right. What can you? Yeah.
You realize you can't do anything. That's what I meant. The people that care enough to do something, that can afford to do something, that have the resources and the connections, yeah, go for it. The rest of us don't have that.
Yeah,
we have this.
Well, the whole thing is people in positions of power have the ability to get out of a bind that they might get themselves. And so when it came to like John Podesta, or not Podesta, what's that? The guy with the Lolita Express. When it comes to that guy, I think he only ended up serving about a year in jail or something like that, and then he was put on house arrest.
Well, you remember when the WorldCom and the Enron scandals went down?
The contrived scandals, yes.
Who went to jail for that?
Pretty sure nobody.
Oh no, somebody big, somebody famous.
Oh yeah, they go to
somebody big. Come on.
Ritzy, Conrad Black.
No, it was a woman. That's the only clue I'm going to give you. Who went to jail?
Martha Stewart.
Thank you. And do you remember how much money?
Oh,
insider trading. Insider trading.
We're 33 million?
No, it was like 275,000.
Oh.
It was some super low level shit.
Oh yeah, of course it was.
So
my city wanted to levy a $500,000 fine against me to make me tear down my greenhouse.
So, oh my God.
Wow. They won.
Dude, we got people in New Jersey and in California who are doing jail time because they catch rainwater.
Yeah, this is the society we live in now. It's coming for everybody.
There are people in jail right now in New Jersey because they're not residents. They're not because guns are illegal in New Jersey. But there are people in jail right now because they drove through New Jersey. They were traveling through that state and they had a firearm.
Yeah, I've seen videos on that stuff. Pretty crazy stuff going on down there. Would it really be a big deal if the U.S. and Canada, if we broke up into individual states and provinces? Because I know our country is threatened to break apart twice just from Quebec, and Alberta's threatened to break it apart once.
That's all theater. We got
I
California.
know, but
Right
yeah,
now.
but people were generally, we were having discussions about it all the time.
That's
Well,
the problem.
unlike the
That's the
states,
problem. That's the problem. That's the problem, is that people are having discussions about shit that don't fucking matter, that'll never gonna fucking happen, that's a psyop from the beginning. That's the problem, that people being sucked into bullshit stories.
see, the thing is, though, we can legally separate. We can in Canada, unlike the United States, we can actually become our own individual countries based on the province, and
that's what
that
you think.
that was no, that was written to the Constitution by
Oh, this was a
John A.
real deal
MacDonald.
for Canada.
Yeah, by John A. MacDonald. Because
Yeah, but you know that'll never happen.
it could. It
came
almost
very
happened
close.
tonight.
It came very close to happening.
But did it?
Within 1 percentage point, it came that close.
So that's
Whether or not it was a true real count, but
Right.
yeah, like millions of people voted.
right. So what's the psyop? What's the effect? Well, how does it affect people in the way they think? That's always the bottom line. How does it affect the population?
Well, I think at that time it was, people thought, I don't know necessarily everybody, but in Quebec's case, I talked to a lot of people. I know a lot of French people that they were doing it. They wanted no more part of the federal government.
And then what happened as a result? Nothing.
They had a referendum throughout
And
the whole
then-
province, and
and
it came
then-
with 1 point, and it stayed. Yeah, you're right.
You
Psyops from the beginning, yes, probably, but people generally had, even the rest of Canada, we all had an opinion about it, and if we all had that got a vote on it, we could have helped them.
Yeah, they eventually had to recognize Quebec as a nation state within the super state of Canada.
Yes,
But, I think that the best thing for Canada would be for us all to separate along provincial lines, because unlike the states, we actually, like, if you go from state to state, you're relatively still in the same, like, you can tell you're in the same country. But as you go from province to province, the provinces up here are so vastly different. And we legit, like, most Canadians hate the province next to them. We're like rivals, like
But you guys aren't actually legitimately, like, legally an actual country. Canada is like a province of England, right? I mean,
we're part of the British Commonwealth.
that's right. That's why you have provinces and not
Which
states.
is what we would really like to get out of.
That's why you have provinces and not states.
Right. See, in the U.S., if I get a commercial driver's license in the U.S., it's the same across every state. Just has your state on it. In Canada, our licenses are totally different in every province. Rules apply differently in every provinces. When you move to a different province, they give you a certain amount of time to switch over to their license. You can't have one in both places. Yeah, if anything, what we need in this country is we need everything to normalize amongst all the provinces, streamline everything where all of our licenses do the same stuff like that. But it seems like it'll never happen.
All right, so I just want to answer Zach Hawkins. He said, I don't know, Gandalf, going from Georgia to Florida is a pretty big change.
well, true. Like, when it comes
Hang
to
on, hang on. Let me answer Zach. Zach, if you don't know, there are 2 states in the United States, California and Florida, who have extraordinarily stricter laws governing all kinds of activities, particularly related to commerce and construction, most particularly construction, because California is an earthquake zone and Florida is a hurricane and flood zone, that there are massive differences between the regulations regarding construction and also commerce, particularly when you're traveling to and from Florida, regarding like vegetables and perishable goods. that you have to go through the agricultural way station or the agricultural checkpoint. So I know people, I've got friends in the construction business who have construction licenses in every state in this country. And they tell me again and again that the two states that are the hardest to acquire license for construction and remodeling are California and Florida. So there are reasons for that.
Same thing here, Rufus, with contracting and government contracts, stuff like that. Look what's going on here in my province, Alberta. We're fighting with BC over a pipeline, and we're fighting with Saskatchewan over Alberta government projects where Saskatchewan people are coming over and working on these government projects when we should be hiring Alberta people, right?
You know, my friend who...
Fights always go on. It happened with Ontario and Quebec for 30 years back in the day. Quebec wouldn't let Ontario carpenters go work on their projects.
Dude, Canada is fucking weird, man. My friend who's a project manager for a construction firm, he traveled to Canada to look at a job site for a contract that they had. And he had to travel to Canada, and all he had with him was a fucking tape measure. That was all he had for a tool that could be regarded as a tool, right? A contractor tool or a mechanic tool or any kind of tool. He had a fucking tape measure. They confiscated the tape measure at customs, and they made him buy one. You cannot bring a single hammer. You cannot bring a screwdriver to Canada. They will not allow you to come into Canada with any fucking tools of any kind, not even a tape measure.
Unless you're a truck driver.
Well, I don't know about truck drivers, but I'm just telling you what my friend told me.
Oh yeah, our Canadian border guys, man, it's tough. It's tough for Canadians to get back in with just without anything. They're worse than the U.S. customs guys. And for many years, they didn't have guns. Now they do.
Laz said the Florida Republic lost the war against the Union, so that's that. I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe it has something to do with it. But I do know that Florida is a flood zone, and it's also a hurricane zone. I know they have construction standards that are above and beyond every state in this country, that literally go above and beyond every construction standard in every other state in this country. This much I know for sure.
Well, that's actually the whole key actually to the Canadians' ability to become our own separate nations is actually all dependent on the Civil War. Our Confederation was in 1867, and that was 2 years after the end of the Civil War. And the reason is that we were able to have this ability to separate is because there was such a huge amount of Confederate immigration that came into Canada right at the end of the Civil War. And they actually were with the leaders that were establishing Confederation, like John A. Macdonald, at the very beginning of the Confederation. So that's why, because they warned them, if you guys ever do want to separate, have it binding within your Canadian Constitution that you guys can become your own individual entities within this North American region.
Yeah, and a lot of immigrants then too were given land. They were inviting people over and giving them land.
Yeah, so it
good luck finding that land now to.
Oh God, man! Like the best place though, the last place I swear in this entire country is Northern Ontario, man.
Yeah, and we're not even allowed to squat now on Crown land.
Wait, they removed that?
You check it out. I researched it last year. You can't squat anywhere in Canada now.
Because used to be you could squat on a piece of land for 10 years and then you'd own it.
Yeah, well, I think it was 7. Even Alaska, there's 7 or 9 families left that were the original squatters out into the vast area that's uninhabited. And they passed a law in Alaska that nobody else except for their families can live on that land. No more squatters. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I had
So
no
that's
idea.
why we need to get rid of our affiliation to the monarchy, because that bitch's name is on every square inch of this country, and we're not allowed to, as Canadians, we're not even allowed to go and take a piece of land out in the middle of nowhere. Nope, not allowed to now.
No, that's the
Queen
king.
owns all that. Yeah, Queen owns all that. Pretty sick, eh?
Well, it's not even technically the
Fuck her.
Queen that owns that land. It's technically the Crown Corporation of London that owns it. That's why it's called Crown
Yeah,
Land.
I get it. I understand all that, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no, it is the
Her
royal.
name's on too much shit in this country as it is, and she's done nothing for this country.
No, you're totally right. Well, it's the aristocracy, right? We're subjects of the British aristocracy. They own that.
The entire Trans Canada Highway is the Queen's Highway. There's Kings and Queens highways. That shit needs to end. If Britain's ever in trouble again, I don't think we should be helping them. They've never fucking helped this country. They've just enslaved it further.
Well, I was reading this article today about how back during the First World War, the RCMP used to have to round up people out west and all over Canada, and when they put them on the ships heading overseas to World War One, they were actually shackled to their bed frames, so the people wouldn't jump them off.
You know how we got the RCMP?
No.
They were basically hired henchmen for the Hudson's Bay Company, which was who? The royal family.
Yeah, the Hudson's
They
Bay.
set up trading posts all over the country to take control of it, to take control of all trading. And that's where you got the RCMP from.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, Canada's basically was established as a corporation, more or less.
Yeah, we're not a country, we're a company now.
Well, Roof.
You guys, I appreciate you. Blue Blood, I appreciate you coming in. Cerebra, she's probably passed out. And I wish I had a chance to talk to her some more. She's one of our favorites. But it's very, very, very late for her. She's 5 or 6 hours behind us. So for her right now, it's like 2 a.m. or maybe 3 a.m. for her. I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of support here. I had nothing else going on.
There's a subject we should get into sometime, the history between our two countries, because a lot of Canadians know a lot about America, but not a lot of Americans know a lot about Canada, and a lot of Canadians don't know much about our country either.
Dude, that's an interesting subject. It's something that I've noticed over the years, that almost everybody outside the United States has a tendency to know more about the United States than almost anybody inside the United States.
Yeah, I can name every state.
And
it's
so weird to me, living in the States. It's so weird to me, somebody who pays attention to these things, to notice people like you in Canada, England, Ireland, Scotland, all over Europe. It's like
when you say England, Ireland, Scotland, that pretty much was the start of Canada.
Well, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that particularly the West, pretty much most of Europe, American media, the news that comes out of America is almost like mainstream to like everybody else. And yet in America, we don't get any fucking news out of Canada or out of Europe. It's such a rare occurrence for us Americans to get news or anything that's going on outside of America. We're almost as isolated as fucking China. The censorship, as far as what's happening in the rest of the world, is so extraordinary. The American people are so dumbed down to what is happening in the rest of the world. It's off the charts. I don't even know how to describe it. And it's bizarre to me that the whole world seems to know all about what's going on in America, and yet Americans have no fucking idea what's happening outside of their own country. It's crazy.
Start waking them up.
It's crazy.
We've always known what's going on. Canadians always know what's going on in the States. You're like our uncle, you know. You're a bigger country, a lot more people. I know a
think
lot of
it's also
Americans
because we
always.
grow up with the Hollywood fucking programming just as bad as they do down in the States, and we grow up
Oh,
and we're
yes.
thinking we are Americans because of the accents, right?
And see, we only started getting good American television about 20 years ago. A lot of us grew up with only 2 stations, and they were local, and it was Canadian content, most of it, and it was garbage. Yeah, Gandalf, remember This Hour has 22 minutes?
Oh yeah, man.
That show's been on for what, 25 years now?
Oh yeah, about that.
Most Americans have probably never heard of that show. But they used to do a segment where they would go down to the States and they would find out what Americans know about Canada. And the first time they went to Pittsburgh, I think the Penguins had won the cup or something like that. So their arena is called the Igloo. Well, they went down there and they were talking to people on the streets, and they told them that the first show, I think they said we just got our first mile of paved road. And they were like, "Oh, congratulations, Canada." And that our Parliament building is an igloo and it's melting. So we built a dome around it. And they're like, "Oh, congratulations, Canada." And seriously, when in the 90s, when I was trucking in southern US around Roof there, I did a lot of stuff around Tennessee and Kentucky, Georgia, all around Ohio, the whole country really, but mostly in that area for the longest time. People down there would still believe the story that we use dog sleds as major mode of transportation. They still believe that shit. I couldn't get over it.
Oh fuck, bro! If I was in the States, man, I would. Like last time I was in the States, I think I was like in upstate New York. I was telling them that my cousin got just finished getting mauled to death by a grizzly bear, and they believed it, man.
Yeah, we had an American fella on Potash Lake back home, and they'd come up in the fall and hunt deer, and their cottage was just down from ours, and that guy got killed by a deer here.
Fuck.
Yeah, American in Canada. He shot the deer and it went down, and he went to check it, and the deer jumped up and took him in the chest with its antlers, killed him.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, he was from New York. Good guy, nice old fella. But yeah, we should have a show just on Canada, America, man. You could go on for hours and hours and hours, and it'd be so interesting because we all know a bit of stuff, right, that the other guy doesn't know.
Yeah, like I'd love to do that. Would be a great idea for a show, man. We need some have a whole Canadian panel. There's enough of us for one.
Well, no, I have a mixture of people, like, right? We all have ancestors. Canada was built on Europeans, right? So, I mean, my family's Irish.
What Gandalf was saying is there's a lot of Canadians that actually engage in not only this show, but what I've seen on YouTube of people that are awake. There's an extraordinary number of Canadians by comparison. There's a lot of Canadians. I mean, I started this show with Ian, who's on Ontario, on the island. Darn it, what's the name of that damn?
Oh, he'd be out in Vancouver then.
Yeah, Vancouver Island. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I started the show with Ian, a Canadian, and you and Blue Blood, and one of our best friends, Mark from Global Agenda, is Canadian, and I mean, there's just dozens of fucking Canadians that I've interacted with, probably more Canadians than anyone else. And I've made note of that on other shows, of how many Canadians that interact with at least what we're doing here. And from what I've noticed, there's a shitload of Canadians. You guys are awake, man. You guys are doing pretty good.
Oh yeah. There's not many of us here that are awake, but a lot of us are.
And I find it so interesting that, and I just have to repeat myself, that so many people, not just Canadians, but so many people are so very in tune with what's happening in America. And yet at the same time, America is so bloody ignorant of what's happening outside of America.
Not
it's
just
astounding.
America.
It's
a lot of awake people I know in Canada. They know what's going on in all the world. You know,
So
it's funny. You look back at Saturday Night Live back in the day. That was mostly Canadians.
that's right. It was. That's right. Dan Aykroyd,
Martin Short.
Martin Short was Canadian.
Yeah, all guys. Chris Farley got his start with them guys.
Was Jim Carrey ever on that?
No, he started out with that show In Living Color. And that
In
was
Living
the
Color. That's right. That's right. Okay, you guys, listen, we're after 10 o'clock. We're about our 3-hour mark, and I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I seriously appreciate it. I was flying blind, flying solo for a little while, and I appreciate the support.
Yeah, man, I felt bad about that, bro.
No, don't even feel bad for a second. I told you, how many times did I tell you on Skype? 4 or 5
No, you were adamant about it. Go take care of the fucking dog, dude.
Yeah, take care of that dog. I mean, seriously, I'd rather know that the dog was taken care of than, that's way more important than having you just sit on fucking Google Hangouts with me.
Yeah, true, bro.
I couldn't bear to think that you were hanging out with me while a dog had quills in his nose and no one's doing anything about it. So I appreciate you taking care of that, and I'm glad you were able to get back in here and hang out with us.
Well, yeah, and it was great having you on, Blue, and fucking Cerebra Santa. You're probably passed out, but Blue, always good chatting with you, man.
Yeah, you too, bud.
As
Anytime.
always, Broadsword, Adelaide, Karen McCardle, Big P99, David Lang, all the people who came and stopped by. We got a couple of new people. Shadow, I'm not sure how new you are, but thanks for stopping by. And my buddy Zach Hawkins and Tiger67. I think I've seen you a few times. E.T., Cinema, Psycho Masonica, and Shugimona. All the people that come by and support and hang out and contribute to the chat. I've been looking at the chat pretty good time this time. I don't normally pay that much attention to the chat box. It's pretty hard to run a hangout and keep an eye on the chat. It's really hard to pay attention to what people are saying and try to listen to a live conversation. Laz, I want to make sure to give a shout out to Laz. Love you, brother. And anybody else I didn't mention, if you got a wrench, I love you. And for all the people that stop by and support the show and everything, hang out, we do love you. And thanks. Thanks, Gandalf. I'm glad you're able to make it. Thank you, Blue Blood. Always good to talk to you, my brother. Final thoughts, you guys, real quick before we get out of here. Final thoughts.
Go ahead, Gandalf.
Oh, I was just going to say castration for first offense.
First offense. Pedophilia, first offense, castration. Now, when you say castration, are you talking about cock and balls or just the nuts?
Both. The whole set, man.
All right, so pee out of a straw. Pee like a little girly man.
No, they'd be leaving them with a vagina. You realize that, eh?
Well, now we're dealing with a double-edged sword, man.
We're gonna make you pee like a little girly man.
It is time that you either choose the pedophilia or the transsexual.
Or the medication.
We have been stockpiling the medication since 2006 for this exact situation. Das Deutschland Medical Institute has been prepared for a long time.
Oh my God, Gandalf! You should start a channel just with that German accent.
I know, that'd be hilarious.
Do satire, just total satire.
Hey, Blue.
Yeah.
Blue. You know what you need to do?
No.
You need to do more Kissinger videos. You haven't done a Kissinger video in a long time.
No, I took them down along for the rest of my other stuff that I didn't want to have my channel killed for.
Dude, you need to do some that shit's funny.
Well, I got probably half a dozen more recordings that I didn't release that I'll just throw them on the start of a song or something like I did on a couple other songs.
You need to do some more Kissinger. That's comedy gold right there, bro.
Yeah, I just need the comedy to go with it. Do the voice and just coming up with the thought. I've had some pretty sick ones, actually. I don't know if I should release those or not. Yeah, I'll put something together. Seeing as how you requested it.
Oh, yep, I am requesting it. David Lang said, final thoughts. If America can't get over the illusion of the two-party system, we are doomed.
Hey, me and Gandalf, me doing Kissinger, Gandalf doing the gay German fella as a satire of you know what grinds my gears.
All right, you guys need to collab on that.
Oh, fuck. You just picture it.
All right, final thoughts, Blue Blood.
That was good. I don't really care for that subject much, but you know, it's good that some people are on it anyway. It's not really my thing to talk about.
All right, well, you guys know my final thoughts. Pick up your fucking trash.
You
I
bet.
say it every week. Pick up your fucking trash. You know how many times I'm out walking the fucking nature trail when I go RVing or I take the dogs at the park? You know how many, or the beach for that matter. Do you know how many times I come home with a bag full of fucking trash?
Oh, dude, man, I pick up garbage out of my own yard every day.
There are beer bottles all up and down my street because my neighborhood is like a cut through, and people who are drinking, they throw their beer bottles and their alcohol bottles out the window on the sidewalk. So when I walk my dogs in my neighborhood, I'm always picking up fucking beer cans and beer bottles and alcohol bottles, because before they get on the main highway, people will try to, get rid of their shit. It's pathetic, man. People have no fucking respect. Have some
Here I
fucking
pick
respect.
up a lot of McDonald's, Wendy's, 7-Eleven, Tim Hortons. Garbage is everywhere.
Man, I went RVing a couple of weeks ago with Nancy, and we went to a place called Cloud Canyon. It's up in the mountains of North Georgia, and it was a pretty amazing campground. The canyon was amazing. They had this amazing trails and walkways that went down and explore the waterfalls and shit. And I was just astounded at how much fucking trash that I picked up on the way back. I couldn't fucking believe it. You guys, I mean, I could. Everywhere I go, out in the middle, it could be out in the middle of the fucking boondocks, and there's fucking trash, and I'm so sick of it. Have some fucking respect, people. Have some fucking respect. And I know that you guys listening, you guys do, but that's my final thought. Pick up your fucking trash.
Stop buying so much crap.
And stop buying into the left-right paradigm. You guys know this. Everyone listening, you guys know this. I'm preaching to the choir. Thanks, guys. We're out of here. Gandalf, Blue Blood, and everybody, thank you. Love you.
Peace, everyone.
Thanks
All
for
right.
the invite.
Closing it down, you guys. As soon as my tab opens up, I'm closing it down. Here we go. We're out of here. And I got no outro. So thanks, you guys. And we will see you next week. See you. Bye-bye.